Welcome to Warcraft Reloaded, a podcast brought to you by Mash Those Buttons, covering World of Warcraft Classic, all of its different types of games, and its community. I am Bobby, also known as Blazzinbob, and joined once again by the lovely Melarina. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good.
Good to hear, it's good to hear. Also joining us, ScotteJaye. How you doing,
all right,
brother?
Governor. I'm all right, mate. How are you?
I'm good. Gotta get you to do that, gotta get you to do my accent sometime.
Yep. I'll make sure one podcast in the not too distant future I'll join absolutely spannered from the start. and then I'll do whatever you want.
Also joining us, Crix. How you doing?
Hello, brother. How you doing? I'm doing great.
I'm doing great
happy.
too.
I'm having fun with Canada. I'm glad
Awesome.
we're talking about it.
Awesome. Yep. It's gonna be a good
We're
one.
here to spread the hype. Right.
And last but certainly not least, we have WillE. How you doing?
Yo, what up? It's pretty good. It looks like a great lineup today. So yeah, I hope you have a good show and convince a lot of people to enjoy Cata, not brainwash.
Either way,
That's something else.
All right. Well, I'd like to start the show off always by thanking our tank patrons in Croxford, Turtle Whale, and Braxton. I'd like to remind everybody we stream the show live at twitch.tv/Blazzinbob, BLAZZINBOB. If you'd like to join our Discord, it's warcraftreloaded.com/Discord. If you would like to help us out, we moved YouTube channels. We're now on youtube.com/@warcraftreloaded. Doing pretty good on views there. That kind of didn't really slow down, but we don't have the subs, so give us some subscribers, guys. Help us out. But then also like to remind you guys, if you're going to get any Cataclysm Rested XP guides, those are out now and ready for you to grab. You can use warcraftreloaded.com/rested XP. Link also in the description and code reloaded.
And just to piggyback off that, I tested it, the Rested XP for beta, Cata, and it's amazing. It is.
Mhm.
When they sent me in, I was like, this is already done. Like, how did you guys I don't even know how they do it. It was flawless. And I would say that you're going to need it because the world is very, very different. And I leveled one character on the beta without it and then had to open the quest log and read it and try to figure out where to go because all the quests changed. It was crazy. Until you get to Outlands, that's the same in Northrend. But it was like, I couldn't wait to get my blue arrow back. And then when I got it, it was a game changer. It was so much faster. It was like twice as fast as what I was doing. So
the blue arrow is so important, right? Yeah, we were just talking with Scotty in the pre-show, and he was saying that he wasn't using it, and then they came out with it, and he used it, and he's been going at least like 20% quicker is what he estimated.
Like it went from like an hour level to like 20-minute levels at some point. At one point, like from like 20 to 30, you're hitting like 15-minute levels.
Damn.
Wow.
With just going, with auto turn and pickup and all that stuff that it brings with it. Because it's always more than just a blue arrow. It's telling you where to go. You don't have to open the map. You just follow the arrow and then the auto pickup and turn it in quest stuff because there's so many quests and you got to sit there and click. It just skips all that. So
it's awesome. All right. Well, we're gonna start off with the comment of the week. Then we're gonna do one voicemail we got this week. Then maybe see what people have been up to, and then just a little bit of news. I'll just give you a spoiler. It's just Plunderstorm, and then everything else is going to be Cataclysm. So that's going to be the episode today. If you're not super into Cataclysm, you can leave, but I would say stay and just check it out. You might be a little surprised. These guys changed my mind on Cataclysm in an episode we did 2 years ago. So stick around. All right, Mel, do you want to read the comment of the week?
Sure. By AZ9498. I made a Frostmage healer spec for PvP where all I use for healing is the Chrono Rune, but it is so fun and strong in WSG. I still take Living Bomb and Living Flame too, so I can still do decent damage. For my belt, I take Frost Firebolt. but for quick single target pressure, Scorch spam is usually better. Because I'm the healer, my DPS around me are already killing them, and I'm just doing a little extra damage if they don't need healing. Listen, I don't know any mages that are like, I want to go into WSG and heal.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I just thought it was cool that he's like, I just thought it was cool he's thinking outside of the box instead of just looking up some spec and going with what somebody else said. He looks like he like came up with what like worked for him. And I just thought that was cool. Like I thought, you know, I've loved watching hunters and stuff doing marksmen in BGs and stuff and just trying different stuff that's not like super meta, which I just think is neat.
How many battlegrounds do you think he went into without a healer before he was like, all right, I got to figure this out?
I'll do it myself. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. But I just thought that was cool. I've been playing around with different things and I keep re-speccing because it's so cheap. And, you know, we raid every 3 days and then I re-spec and I kind of try new shit with the rogue and with the hunter. And I just kind of like, it's really cool to just mess around in BGs. So yeah, I thought it was neat. So I thought I would highlight it. But yeah,
your next episode, guys, is episode 200.
I know. We haven't.
Crazy. Are you gonna do something special? Or like,
I haven't. I didn't look at anything.
You guys should dress up.
Dress up?
Yeah, I think you should dress up.
There's Varian and Jaina.
Maybe I should wear a suit. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. Well, that's all we got for that. But voicemail. We did have one voicemail. I'm going to go ahead and play it now.
Hey, Mel and Bob. This is Glowies from Faralina Horde. Some people might know me as ThickDab or Thigandi. Long-time listener. Just wanted to call in and say, love the show. I've been listening since sometime in TBC. I think around Phase 2 TBC, I found your podcast, and I've had a blast listening to it the entire time. I just wanted to let you know that and pose a quick question. I was just listening to your most recent episode, and you were talking about the student fodder and whether or not that will be usable in Phase 3 of Season of Discovery. My guess is that it won't be. Either way, it doesn't matter because I've used all mine. I do have an interesting thought about the sleeping bags, though. What if they made another quest line that allowed us to upgrade our sleeping bags for a higher percentage experience when you spend 3 minutes in the cuddle puddle? I think everyone agrees it's nice to have a little bit of extra EXP, but 3% is incredibly underwhelming, as you outlined in one of your earlier podcasts. You know, at 100,000 EXP, that's like another 3K. So it's really not that much for the amount of time spent. I think everyone can agree the student fodder was way valuable. But yeah, I think it would be kind of neat to see another quest line. Maybe we get some more student fodder. Maybe that sleeping bag gets upgraded to like 5% or like 10% maybe over the course of SOD. But love to hear your thoughts on that, and I look forward to the next episode. Thank you all.
Cuddle puddle.
What did he call it? A snuggle puddle?
A cuddle puddle.
Cuddle puddle.
I'm totally stealing it. I'm totally stealing it. But yeah.
I like it.
I mean, yeah, student fodder was awesome, but like I've said on the show, the 3%'s a meme, you know, and once you pointed out with 100K and you get one quest worth of experience for 100K, you're like,
making
okay.
sure it's always up though, aren't you?
It's so bad. No, I don't. It's so bad that I've leveled like 4 or 5 characters in Phase 2 so far, and I don't even sit in it. Unless people are like, I've done a couple like SMs where people were like, all right, I'm AFKing for 3 minutes. I'm like, all right, I might as well get in it, but I'm not gonna. I didn't waste my time getting the quest. I didn't waste my time sitting in it or laying in it. But yeah, I think like a 5-10% buff would be nice, especially because it's just for leveling. And like as you know, the community complains about leveling. I think they just want to press. I think they want to create a level 1 character, press 1 button, and be done at 40. So like when we go to rank level 50, which by the way, 40 to 50 is not going to be that bad. It'd be nice to have a little more experience,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It does give you a TP, which is a big deal. Mages can TP
Yeah.
off of it, which is very, very nice.
I could see them extending it. There's a few rune quest lines which are continuations of stuff from Phase 1. Like Meta Rune was part of one of the other ones for Warlock, and you had to have done Divine Storm for something else in Phase 2, I think. Sheath of Light, maybe. So, yeah. Obviously, they've got a plan with some of these things, and it might not just be a one-off. Yeah, I could very well see us getting to upgrade it.
I mean, it's going to be difficult for me to go and do the quest to upgrade it when I'm sat in Zul'Farrak for 10 levels. That's the only thing. I didn't get the first sleeping bag because I didn't leave Scarlet Monastery, and I don't think I'm going to leave ZF this time round. So, yeah, I mean...
Yeah, you have to think about it. You do get...
For me to go out of my way, it would have to be pretty special.
The student fodders are really special. The fact that they give 4 bars no matter what level, that's pretty special. They also, are a full heal, full mana, full... I don't think they give warriors full raise, but everybody else gets full everything when you take one. So there's that too. But yeah, I don't know that it's going to work later. I do have one left because I saved him for too long on my warrior. And then I was just like, oh crap, I can't use this now. I'm already 40. But I think upgrading it is a cool idea. Even like if you get a max character, yours upgrades to like even higher, and then you could help friends by like letting them use yours. Like this upgraded, I don't know. There could be some cool things in there.
I mean, if you think about the quest, it was an incomplete quest line. We never found the guy. So, and then there's the secret agents and stuff.
Maybe he gives you like a tent.
It's you get like a tent, and then you get a boat to home you can drive around in.
Yeah,
full on caravan.
You've got a caravan.
200% speed flying. I don't know, flying. Why not? Sure, just throw it in. No, but like we never finished the quest. Pretty confident it's going to continue, and they'll have some kind of upgrade.
I'm pretty confident none of the rest of us knew that we didn't finish the quest. We were, at least I didn't. I was like,
the secret agents.
No,
I honestly
I didn't read anything.
I didn't. I'm horrible. I didn't either. I was just going to be quiet. Time. I wasn't going to lie and say I knew. I was just going to be quiet over here.
A good old auto pickup, turn in.
Follow the arrow.
Follow the yellow brick road.
Some guy, and we never found him. That's why he left his sleeping bag behind, because he just left and we missed him.
I think it's hilarious you said the tent, and then you get a little cooking thing. Now every time I put down the sleeping bag, I'm going to want to put down a cozy fire too.
And the campfire, that one that gives you spirit.
Yep.
Campfire, yeah.
Oh, get that 5 spirit. It's important. Oh man, that's so funny. Yeah, well, I think that would be a great idea. I don't see how anybody would be opposed to that. I think it's a good idea. Oh, I just hope they have the 100% in from the start. Like, I really hope they have that. I don't know about you guys, but that's
up to 50 or up to 40.
From 40 to like 100% across the whole game. Like, I want that 100%. Like, I want it, but a lot of people say like, oh, get it after your first character's done, but that really doesn't help the people coming late that are actually trying to catch up. I don't know. I just feel like it'd be like, I'll be fine, but I'd have a lot more fun if I could work more characters up. So
I thought when you was playing the vanilla version of the game, though, like the leveling was the big experience. Like
only in hardcore for me.
I think they should put a 200% XP, but like minus on, so everyone levels like 200% slower, just so we can really, really enjoy 40 to 50. That's what I think they should do.
The grind. They're like, oh, you guys got bored last time? Here you go.
Yeah, we'll show you when you're getting 25 XP for a quest.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that sounds horrible. I mean, I do think it's cool in hardcore. Like, I think like that is part of the journey. That's part of the difficulty of it. And I don't want to raid in hardcore. So like it doesn't, the journey's great, but yeah. No negative, Scotty. No negative.
No negative is in negative XP. I was going to say I'm not being negative. I think it would be good for the game.
Sure.
Have you not seen the recent Twitter conversations that was posted with Agron was saying even he agrees that it's very like zoom get to max level and quickly get to raid login. So I'm just saying there's a portion of people that want it slower as well as people that want it quicker.
Just the biggest thing is
turn the XP boost off.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can click it off if they want to.
Yeah. They'll moan about it being too quick, but they're never going to go and turn that off. That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I like my leveling vanilla. I'm going to keep it on.
See,
I did 1060s during Classic. All right,
you did.
I've done my time. I've done I think 2 or 3 characters to 60 on hardcore as well. So I can take it a bit faster now and again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like. It's a big problem because we were talking about it before we came on, but like if you love PvP, SOD's pretty freaking awesome right now. Like, and there's hours and hours and hours of fun to be had in Arathi Basin and or Warsaw Gulch and just like world PvP. But like if you don't like PvP, there's absolutely nothing to do in the game. And it's just like 2 polar opposites. And it's just a bummer for people that really love PvE. So
or if you like leveling characters, and I don't like the leveling experience in vanilla. Full stop. Getting these extra runes, which are just abilities from future expansions. I don't get excited. I'm not like, oh my god, I'm leveling a shaman and I've got lava burst. It's like I'm leveling a shaman and I've got lava burst. It's not. Yeah, it don't get me that excited. But the questing's dire, man. In vanilla, I know people love it, but I just don't. So season of discovery, 1 character, my mage. It'll do everything in the game for the rest of the season, but I never see myself having an ult. Not anymore. Obviously, in phase 1, I had everything. I had multiple of some classes at 25, but I just can't do it. Not unless phase 3 is a lot more special than phase 2. As I say, for me personally, this is the perfect place for me to vent anyway, because it's a Cataclysm podcast, not a season discovery podcast. And phase 2 for me has just been a massive letdown, but.
It's just the dungeon spamming really kind of killed it, and even people like me and Mel who weren't planning on dungeon spamming went ahead and did it all because of the book drops. Like we literally were getting ready to go quest right off the bat, and I was like, "Babe, maybe we should go do dungeons for a bit because of the book quest," and then we're just waiting to get everybody the books, and then all of a sudden we're like, 4 levels up, and we're like. Or 4 levels up from our pre-quest 4 levels, so we're like level 32. We're like, let's just stay, and it's just that happened. If they had made it so there was like a 5 dungeon a day lockout, the world would have been packed. It would have felt more fresh, and it felt fresh in the beginning, even on PvP servers, because you had the safe zones, so like you were only dealing with PvP in the last 5 or so levels, right? And so it wasn't as scary like for people like Mel and I still did a ton of questing, but just on our second guys,
The thing that's annoying
trying to quest though in the STV, I think this phase.
I think questing anywhere at the start was really, really bad anyway. I had a short 15 minutes where the group was, I don't know, going AFK to eat or whatever, and I went over to Hillsbrad and there was nothing to kill. Simple as that. There was just no mobs. It was like, all right, I'll just go back and not bother. But the frustrating thing for me is I love the mage, by the way. Like I absolutely love my main on Season Discovery. I just wish I had like reasons to go and do what I enjoy, which is PvE. PvP don't really bother me. I'll do it to get specific items, and then once I got them, it's like, I'm not doing it anymore. But like, I'd love to actually have a reason to go and heal dungeons on the mage, because I do genuinely, I love the way my mage plays. But outside of Gnomeregon every 3 days, I'm like, there's no point logging on.
What's crazy though is it does seem like in Classic and SOD, Classic era, SOD, everything, PvP is so much more popular. I could be talking out of my ass. This is my feels craft, but PvP seems a lot more popular. And people seem to enjoy it a lot more because it's so much less complicated. Like, TBC was still good, but once you get into Wrath and beyond, PvP gets really complicated, especially Arena. And it really is like super hard to break into. So I think that's why there's more people, but I think on the vast majority, people across the game entirely from here to retail enjoy PvE more. I think that's
a big thing with PvP is there's in vanilla there's a lot of PvE rewards. People going to grind out Warsong to Exalted for the braces. Like I don't know, I think that's crazy just doing it for that reason if you don't like Warsong whatsoever. But
that could be it too.
Like even in TBC, there was like certain classes that got stuff from PvP, like druids and that. I think tanks, resilience, giving defense,
and always weapons.
Yeah, in Wrath,
weapons.
Ferals in Wrath, getting PvP gear so they could solo tank Thorim nice and Thorim, yeah. Because they'd be crit immune still. Like our Ferals was farming PvP gear for PvE and literally only for that one boss. There becomes a lot less of it, a lot less crossover.
If you ever say that PvPers will be like, we've had to farm PvE for 20 years, which they have, but I wish it weren't the case, you do one thing for one thing and one thing for the other.
Yeah, I did like they're kind of like they kind of dipped into it a little bit with the Void Touch gear, right? Like it kind of, kind of did, because like if you use that for PvP, you're gonna be hurting a little bit, like on stamina. Maybe they should have done that across the board type of deal, and the stamina gear you get from PvE. I don't like resilience, but I don't mind stamina gear. I just don't like have to eat 3 times to fill my health bar in Warsong Gulch, which is no bullshit. I do have to eat 3 times.
No, what they should have done? They should have put a stamina PvP focus set on Blood Moon. Like if tanks want to go farm it, whatever. Just you can't
get past that.
Every eventuality, but PvP set, bunch of stamina, and then I don't know, maybe percentage health food. The food we have at the moment is like completely inadequate, and sitting down for 3 times as long as intended just isn't really good.
Bad on my mage. It's real, and Sky knows on mage it's real bad with mana. You can't even you can blow your load on a trash pack and then sit for next trash and then go again and again. It's like crazy.
Dude, it's nuts. I remember I was in Warsong this week on my hunter. I got in. It was 1-1. It was a catastrophe of a game, but I went and I got the flag. I had to kill 2 people in the flag room. I grabbed the flag, and then I just stopped at the boots and ate 3 times, and then picked up the boots and ran the flag back. Like, it's just amazing how long it takes. Oh man. So, but yeah, one last thing, just because Classic Ghost said in the chat, but this is not a SOD podcast. This is Cataclysm podcast. So we got to move on. But
he's in here spying on me, making sure I don't get too drunk. That's literally what he's doing.
Go suggest that, that if you turn, he wants the XP boost on, but if you turn it off, you get more gold because you have it turned off. That's kind of an interesting idea. And, everybody always says, well, why would I turn it off? This gives people an incentive to, if they do like the leveling. It's kind of a neat idea.
I mean, more XP is more gold if you quest after level cap, though.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah, I don't know. It could give you. How about this? You get all your weapon skills capped if you hit level cap without using.
Hell yeah!
All of it by default. Because talking about Cataclysm, I can't wait for weapon skill to be gone. What absolutely awful! I've literally been complaining about this forever. It is one of the worst things about vanilla. I play a caster as well, and I still hate it. It is so tedious.
Which is funny because on the beta, when you hit with your weapons right now,
you hit a weapon, you're like, oh wait, no, this shouldn't be here. No, get it out.
And then on top of that,
it says you're getting weapon skill.
Does it cap you out on defense too?
Oh yeah, everything.
Because so many casters don't get that that if they don't work their defense up, they can get you
get crit by a grey mob.
You can get crushed by you can have a crushing blow from a grey mob if you don't have defense up. But people don't.
All 3 of us made tips for hardcore guys. I think WillE, ScotteJaye, and I all did. And one of the main ones was make sure you have defense. So even if you're a caster, just go get hit a couple times because you will die.
It's you're gonna get hit by a green mob, and it's gonna do a lot of damage, and it's crushing you, and you're not looking at your combat log, and you're playing a hunter, so you haven't leveled your defense, and I'll get you killed.
It's hilarious. Yep, that's actually happened to me. My first tune died at level 9 to Hogger or not Hogger, Princess, because I didn't think that Princess could hit me that hard. But since I had no defense skill whatsoever, boom. All right, well, let's just go ahead and move on to what have you guys been doing lately? I think there's probably a lot of Cataclysm across the board here.
Yeah, we did. I joined one of the speedrunning guilds for EU called Fake Fresh, so we're prepping for like phase 3. Did some Nomer speedruns. We had the fastest Nomer time like a week or two ago.
Congrats.
Like 30 seconds short on it right now. We've just been doing that. So I've just been doing a lot of Sod and then Kata. Yeah, I've been
What is
molding
the
about
fastest
80.
no more time?
15:30 or something like that. 15:46 or something.
Yeah.
Ours is like 16:47 or something. So I'm sure I've never been in a. I've been in a parsing guild for a while, but I wanted to see the sweat, and it's definitely sweatier than I thought it'd be. But it's a lot of fun. So I'm just seeing what this side of the world feels like, and I raided a bunch of the progress guys. It's been a lot of fun. I'm trying to take that into Kata as well. And then other than that, just playing a whole lot of Kata. Like that's all I've been doing. I did Plunder. We'll talk about Plunder in a little bit, but when Plunder came out, played that for a few days. But I'm just back to just leveling characters on Kata. Blew the Warlock out. Ellie Shaman's almost done. Then I don't know what I'm gonna go next. The problem is there's still bugs out there that kind of make it annoying to level certain classes, and they happen to be the ones that I want to level. Like pet action bars aren't working still. Like, and I want to try Hunter, but like you have to RNG fest if you log in and have your action bars. Or Sky is the old mage, so like I want to level as like Frost, but I can't get my pet sometimes. Or Hot Streak's bugged, but I want to try Fire, and I don't want to level as Arcane. And the list
Hot Streak's fixed now.
Oh, it is okay.
Yeah, Hot Streak actually works now. I'm Fire on my mage.
How bad is it leveling on just Fire?
I mean, I still wouldn't level as Fire if you're going for speed. As in, I'd still go Frost. But
fun,
I leveled on. Oh, it's fun. Yeah, I mean, I leveled my mage on Wrath literally the week before beta came out, and I went from 69 to 80 as just Fire, and it was quick. And it'd be just as quick on Kata.
Is your water alley working yet, or is it still
water alleys? No, they're fixed. They're meant to have fixed the pet bars, but I never had a problem with it. Like my water alley had been working for like 4 or 5 days, and then when they put the hot fix out that apparently fixed the bars, mine broke.
Oh, wow, okay, yeah,
classic.
Just for you, Scotty.
What have you been doing, Scotty?
Gnome gone every 3 days on Season of Discovery. I'm re-rolling Mage for Kata, so obviously, I've been Paladin on both EU and NA as main on Wrath, literally since launch. But I'm going Mage, so literally it was quite annoying because like a week before the beta launched, I just leveled a Mage to 80, geared it up and everything. Obviously, it's that I'm more or less just raid logging on that already anyway. But I went from 1 to 80 on a Mage. Started raiding, and then the beta launched, and I went to 1 to 80 on a mage again. So yeah, that was a bit tiring, but mainly just Outland. But yeah, I've been spending a lot of time on the beta and a lot of time on Wrath as well, just doing general Kata prep, getting ridiculous amounts of gold, doing GDKPs and all that jazz. But yeah, on the Kata, I'm about to start my 3rd character. Well, I've already started it today actually, but it's like level 7. Done. My plan is to get every character to 60. Like, I'm not actually bothered. I've got my mage to 80. My paladin I'll get to 80, but like everything else, I'm just going to get to 60 for now. Just because that's the leveling. I really am enjoying the vanilla leveling. But like the vanilla zones on the beta, like absolutely loving it.
Yeah, that's one of the talking points.
60 to 80, either 60 80 is like exactly the same. Besides, it's like a little faster.
That's why when I'm getting the characters to 60, it's like they can stop there, and then I'll just do the next character.
That's exactly my thoughts as well. I agree.
But it's been fun because I've been doing all the different zones. So all the zones that I've done on the mage, then when I've done the paladin, I've done like every single leveling zone was a different zone, and I've already planned out my next character, the druid, which I'm also going to do. Like I will not duplicate any zones at all. That's what I actually love about the Kata leveling is the fact that you can level. I'd say comfortably 4 characters without hardly any crossover.
That is pretty cool.
In the zones you're gonna visit. So
it's so fun too.
That is pretty cool. Lots of
it is.
Yeah, that's a talking point I want to talk about too. In the thing, I'm I'm gonna save it for the full Cataclysm talk though. But it's one of the things I'm most excited for. What have you been up to, WillE?
Yeah, I've been doing a bit on the beta, not anywhere as much as these guys have by any stretch of the imagination. I've been finishing off leveling everything to 80 on Wrath because that's just kind of something I do during an expansion, and I don't know, it seemed to go pretty fast with Joyous Journeys and stuff, so finished that off. I have the full set of characters once again. Other than that, it's been mainly just raiding on Wrath. I've been playing more Wrath than anything else, to be honest. Raiding on Wrath, trying to just, I don't know, keep the raiding interesting, change things up a bit. The guild's been trying to implement some more like speed strategies and stuff. It's like killing Lich King when you got like one throne room, doing one set of blood beasts on Sourfang. It's not like super fast stuff because, you know, you need to kind of stack about 1 million mages apparently to make things really fast, which we don't have access to, but we've got as many as we do. We've ended up, I'm the only warlock in the guild now, imagine.
Had you had a break, WillE? Like when SOD launched, was you still raiding every week on Wrath still?
Yeah, they've never stopped.
All right, because I had a good break, and it's been really nice going back to Wrath. You know, like more or less Wrath full time, like yourself. Like barely playing Season Discovery. It's mostly been Wrath, and then obviously the Cata beta. But it just felt so good going back fresh and getting a character to 80 and gearing it up and getting into raids. I don't know. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun again. Yeah,
I mean, yeah, it's kind of thing for me. Just with leveling characters in general. Season of Discovery, it's you get to some point you have to get runes, and I know the runes they're probably a bit too spread out or something. Too many of them are too similar in Phase 2. So it felt like I was spending about half my time traveling, which is, you know, that's vanilla for you. But you get to a point when you completed a character, then you have to do it again. And then it's just a lot of waiting. Wrath, it felt a lot more, you know, fast paced to go through. So that was nice. The other thing is that I've been preparing a new main because I'm going to be re-rolling for Cata.
Oh, you're leaving me with the Warlocks, dog?
Yeah. So basically, I said to I was kind of surprised as well because I didn't think this had happened, but I said to our GM a while ago, like, look, I want to get back to healing in Cata because I really like how they basically make health bars big and heal less, and you have to care more about your mana. And I think it's just a very interesting expansion to healing. And there's a lot more to sort of track, and you can really stand out, basically.
Mm-hmm. You're fucking killing me, man. What healer are you going?
Yeah, what are you going?
Look, my first choice would have been Resto Druid, but I think you'll be forced into playing DPS on some fights, and I really don't want to do that. But yeah, our guild's main Disc Priest decided they want to go DPS. So I'm picking up the Disc Priest role.
Disc Priest? I only raided a little bit, but I PvP'd a ton with Disc Priest and Cata, and that was fun.
So yeah, it's going to be
is awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to. They boosted me through ICC 10 heroic the other day. I was like 2.1k gear score wearing heirlooms, Bane of the Fallen King, like a character with heirlooms, and yeah, I'm going to be doing a 25 heroic and hopefully not making Lich King impossible this Tuesday. So yeah, I'm up to about 5.5k now, so it's a bit better. But yeah, I've been working on that character a bunch and getting them up to speed.
Nice.
And yeah, that's what I've been up to, really.
We live in a cool time right now with so many classic options for everybody. It's crazy to see how everybody's spread out because, like, I can't seem to do anything but play SOD. But Mel, what have you been up to?
Yeah, since our guild stopped raiding in Wrath, I haven't even logged in to Wrath. I've just been playing SOD. I've been busy though. I've been traveling too, so I haven't been I haven't gotten bored because I don't get to play as much, so that's fine. But I've just been raiding Gnomer. I have a 40 druid that I haven't raided with yet. Just, I don't know. Just not feeling it yet. But I'm raiding on my priest, and I enjoy that in SOD. That's all.
Nice.
That's really all I've been doing.
You're doing some PvP tonight,
quest
too.
Line. Maybe. We did do the quest line to get my crafted gear, which I still haven't gotten. That's fine. I feel like the motivation to get that stuff is lower because I do find healing without it, right? Like, it's not like we really need it. We're not a super sweaty parse guild or speedrun guild, right? So
well, the guild is
Or group.
our two raid groups. We are like, we help out the guild with the casual runs.
mhm. So it's been fun though.
Sarth wasn't too happy with us though the other day.
I didn't get to heal with Table though. Sam Medina came in on his druid, which is fine, but like Table and I have this like understanding of like how we heal each other, you know what I mean? And it's like it was like starting back and they were like, you should use Circle of Healing. And I was like, I'm not gonna use I would lose penance. Why would I use Circle of Healing? Like I was like, I already have to use Homunculi instead of my palm, and that's real annoying. But yeah, I was like, I can't do this.
Sarth made a whole video about how bad our raids sucked.
Did he?
Oh yeah, he did.
Fair.
I mean, he used footage. Well, it was our raid and one other raid, and like,
Was it on a shaman?
yeah, he came out as shaman, and I just don't like. I'm getting a little bit more of a stickler now, especially now that Sarth gave me the tools to like keep everybody in line.
Mm-hmm.
But I wasn't on everybody's ass to make sure all of the debuffs were up. But now I have the add-on, so now I'm like fairy fire. Thank you. Okay, wreck fell off. Like I'm just trying to be annoying enough to where they just get that in their head that that's the most important
Or
thing.
they mute you.
Yeah, he's big on debuffs.
I mean,
him on the
you should be
the same way.
Yeah, you should be. I just expected, like, I guess I just expected people to know what they should do, but
Come on.
yeah,
People
your
lose
first
their mind
mistake.
over a
Yeah.
abyss item, but then
Your
they won't
first
put up an
mistake.
8% debuff for a curse or something.
yep,
Which is bigger than any abyss upgrade you can get, probably.
Mm-hmm.
yep. And it's just
off
huge. Yeah, it's huge. But for me, I've been just raiding, like running the two raids that I do with Move. We make a good team. I set the team up, do all of that stuff. He leads it during the run, which I like because I hate doing that. I do loot and all that other stuff, but works out pretty good. But this week I did get something cool on my hunter. I got Broken Tooth.
Oh,
Oh.
good job on that.
Yeah, and I
You
mean,
have to abandon your current pet.
no, because I just was out there looking for him. I've been doing it off and on. It's like at the end of the night or something, I'll just like buy a port over there and just like take a walk with, no pet. Because I still needed my other cat with the 2.0 speed for PvE, but Broken Tooth has a 1.0 speed. He's the only one until ZG, and you get you can get the bats, but it's not as powerful in SOD as it is in regular classic vanilla because so many healers have so many more insta-casts, but, and so many like so many DPS have more insta-casts, but it's still really good. So I was loving it. I was just like, all right, I'm going to take one last look around, and then I'm going to go get this 1.2 Panther from Swamp of Sorrows and like call it a day. And my unit scan goes off, and I'm like, shut the fuck up. I was like, oh, he's right there. I run up to him. I forget to drop Frost Trap. I start to tame him. Two invisible cats come out, start killing me. Right before I'm done taming him, I die, and I'm like, no. But luckily, the spirit healer's right there. I run back. Two hunters run by before I am res with no pet, so they're obviously looking for him too. They run right by him. I'm like, res, heal. Like healing takes a fucking hour and a half, like to eat and everything else. so then I go over, I get him right as freaking and Elias comes around the corner and kills me. And I was like, oh no, did I lose him because of that? And then I res and he was there and I fed him and I was like, woo! It was so cool.
That's how much cat mode I'm in. As soon as you said you got Broken Tooth, I was like slightly seething, thinking that's like 6.5k XP you just robbed of someone.
Oh, it's yeah. So I was pretty excited about that. So I've had a good time just PvP, and the hunter's got the big two-handed axe, the big gun. I go survival. I basically try to stay at a distance, but then they come in on me and boom. I mean, you lay the smack down with that big old hammer. And then you got frost, or you've got the trap launcher. Like, I'm just having a blast with PvP because I'm so new to the hunter. Like, I'm a bad hunter, but I whoop people in BGs. Like, I can't wait till I get like decent at it. It's gonna be so cool. But yeah, that's all I've been doing. It's just been having a good time doing that. I've helped some people level and quest, get runes, different things and stuff too. But for the most part, been trying to just PvP. That's been what I've been doing. All right, well, let's move on to time for the news. All right, so the news this week is Plunderstorm. I did not play it. Crix played it. Anybody else play it?
I played a bit, yeah. Only a few. I just didn't have time to invest too much.
Well, I watched a bunch, but Crix, you want to take it away? Tell us about Plunderstorm.
In the World of Warcraft universe. So Battle Royale, for those who don't know, that means a certain amount of people, in this example, 60, drop down to this world and fight loot mobs and loot chests that give spells or abilities, not all spells, but abilities like, a big axe that you can slam on the ground and do melee damage, or like this fire tornado fire whirl that turns into a big fire tornado that speeds you up and does good damage. There's a whole bunch of different abilities. You can do stuns and stuff spells that you would imagine would be in MMOs, but a lot of these weren't actually in the game. It's kind of cool. They had some special stuff like Fey Form, which is from retail, but anyway, you just drop down to the world and you kill people. You can do solos or duos, so 60 solos can drop down and the last man standing wins. Or you can do duos, so it's 30 teams of 2. It's pretty fun. I mean, I played a lot of it in the first 3 days. There's a big tournament coming up in 7 days. Blizzard's hosting a $50,000 duos tournament for streamers only. So like pretty much every streamer not even like all the big, it's a lot of the big ones too, like Osmongold and stuff, but there's small streamers there too that are playing it. So it's just 60 streamers paired up in duos. Like example for those that play Classic is Sarth and Desi are on a team. Desi Heat and Sarth are on a team.
Nice.
Are
you doing it?
No, I'm not doing it. I'd turn it down. I'm way too busy to do it. And I wouldn't win. I get the fundamentals of the game. It's a very fun game. It's very, 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 very RNG based on where you land, where you can fly from the beginning, what abilities you get. And then in watching, when you think you're good, you watch people who are really good at it. And there's people like, in example, Max and Trill, who are two of some of the best gamers in the world. Mm-hmm. I've been watching them play where they can win, I watched them win like 18 row back-to-back games consecutively, not even using meta spells either. They're just crazy good. Or like, Zari is an example. I watched him win 14 back-to-backs using abilities his chat was telling him to use. And I'm not at that level. Oh, wow. I don't have the time to invest to get ready for that unless I just I thought about it and I was just going to drop, get lucky. Maybe I luck out and I win, but I'm just not even going to do it. And but it'd be nice for some viewership. But these kind of games help the bigger streamers out than the smaller ones anyway, as everyone knows. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the game's been pretty fun. It's just really you just drop down, you kill. There's a whole bunch of NPCs around. You can kill them to get experience. Everyone starts at level 1, and then you get 10 is the max level. So the meta, you just drop down, kill mobs, loot chests to get experience, and then go kill players. And that's pretty much all it is. Kill everything around you, and then survive for as long as you can. There's a storm that pushes you in, kind of like Fortnite or Warzone, that outer storm that makes you guys get closer and closer together. Mm-hmm. And then once it's close, you guys just last man standing. It wins. It's really fun. It's I can still see myself playing it every now and then, just if I want to burn. Like I have 30 minutes to burn, I'm gonna drop in real quick. But I know.
It seems it seems like it's a lot. The barrier to entry is a lot lower too. I mentioned that you only can have 7 buttons mapped at one time. So you're only using 7 things instead of like somebody who would jump into retail right now and buy a max character and be just overwhelmed by everything, right? So that part seems kind of cool. The part that doesn't make sense is the fact that you have to log into Dragonflight to play it. Like, this is an opportunity.
The Dragonflight, like however much it is, but you do have to have a sub and then download Dragonflight.
Yeah.
It's 110 gigs or something. So, and it pretty much goes into your login screen, like where you pick a character. And on the top left, there's a button you can press that switches from WoW to Plunderstorm. So it's so it makes you download 110 gigs or something to do it. It's crazy.
I think it's like 90, but yeah, it's like, hey, you want to play a battle royale? Okay, 90 gigs, and you have to pay monthly for some reason.
When in reality, that wouldn't be that big
free
of a
to
game.
play.
It's just one map. It's just the map is Arathi Highlands, which is really cool. You get to see like, it's not even the retail version of Arathi Highlands. It's a different version that you wouldn't expect to see. Like you're going through Stormguard Keep and stuff. So that was really cool. But like in reality, if it was just that game, it'd be really small because there's only one map. And it would be, I don't know, 10 gigs. I don't even know how much it would be, but it's definitely not 90 to 100. So it's kind of crazy. A lot of people complain about that. And of course, people are complaining about the sub. Like you have to pay. And it worked. In Blizzard's point, they have got a shit ton of resubs because people want to try this game out. It goes away. It's 6 weeks long. It's been out for a week now. Probably, I don't know, I think of 10 days or something. So you got a little bit more to play it if you want to try. I think it's worth trying. If you're looking for something new, you're just like us right now. Sod's kind of dead. We're waiting for phase 3. If you're playing Lich King, you're prepping for Kata, waiting for Kata. If you're waiting for retail like I am, the new season's coming out in a few weeks, like several weeks actually, probably like a month. So it's the perfect time just to play something, go drop in, have some fun. And you can, while there are sweaty people playing it, you can drop down, learn the game, and get a dub every now and then. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah,
I think it's really good. I haven't played it, but believe it or not, before 2019, so before Classic, I used to play a lot of Fortnite. And I mean, 10, 12 hours sessions of Fortnite every day.
I didn't know that.
Wow.
Me too. Okay.
I seriously, I've still got loads of videos of winning, coming first, in back-to-back games. I used to play a lot of Fortnite, and it's rubbed off on my son because he is massively into Fortnite. Literally,
my son's playing it right now.
All generation, isn't it?
Yep. All my boy plays is Fortnite and Rocket League, and that's it. But I started playing Fortnite
so
when he was probably about 4. So when this came out, I looked at it and was like, actually, that looks pretty cool. But for me, the whole battle royale genre, I feel like it's a bit late. I feel like they've sort of stepped up to the plate about 5 years too late. And the fact that it requires a sub, it shouldn't be a special event where it's only 6 weeks long. It should be on the launcher. It should be free to play, and it should almost then entice people who are like, "I'll give it a go. It's free. Why not?" And they're like, "Actually, this is pretty cool. I'll sub and try Dragonflight, or I'll sub and play Classic."
Exactly.
It would be a great marketing tool to actually get people to try and play World of Warcraft after they've done the battle royale. So
you think their
was the thing that I
intention with
thought was
it?
strange.
Do you think their intention with it is kind of like they've given us all these classic options? Like their intention is kind of like, you can get everything you want in this one space, right? Like you can go play retail, you can play classic, you can play hardcore, you can play a battle royale, you can play, there's so much you can get with this one sub, right? I think that might be their intention, and kind of instead of losing people's subs because they go try another game when there's a lull in the content that they're doing, and they try another game and then they don't come back, their intention is maybe to get them to stay within the universe, right? And play another version of the game and then more easily come back when.
I just think it's not as good.
I wish it was a standalone thing, right? Because if people when it first came out, people were like, "Oh, it's WoW PvP. I'm not interested." Like, this isn't WoW PvP at all. It's absolutely nothing in common with it, other than being in the WoW universe. That's about it. Like, I was thinking, if you took 2 people, give them 10 hours. Person number 1, you're like, okay, get into PvP and SOD or retail or something. They'll still be figuring out add-ons in the UI or leveling. If you give someone 10 hours in Plunderstorm, if they're familiar with the games or good with them, they could probably win 1 or 2, or more than that even. So yeah, it's like
it's not going to pull anybody
remotely similar.
Yeah, it's not going to pull anybody from another battle royale game, right? They're not going to come pay a sub to try this battle royale out. I don't think.
But they would have if it was free.
Wish there wasn't even rewards. So I don't know about the renown track. People are just playing it because they like, I must collect the thing.
True.
I don't know. Maybe that's people getting people into it and stuff. But I saw a lot of complaining. You're like, no, I have to do this thing. It's like, you don't know, do you? Really?
You don't.
If you think about it.
But the good thing is, we've spoke about it. Well, I'm sure we've spoke about it on this podcast, and certainly spoke about it with Go on ours. That it's still just something else that you get for your sub. Even though some of us may see it as a missed opportunity where it could be its standalone, thing, and it could be used to draw people into like other versions of the game, but still, it's like something else that you can spend time on without having to pay any extra money at all. So, like, fucking credit to Blizzard. You know,
yeah.
like,
I mean, it's a good thing. I just feel it's a missed opportunity as well.
And they should do a free weekend.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Like
a little testing free weekend. That's brilliant.
Get people a free weekend. Yeah, I don't know. It'd probably be worth it.
Free month.
It seems good though. Like it's closer to any traditional PvP game than's typically what existed in MMO. Because MMO PvP is you need to level, you need to gear, you need to do all these things, which PvP games like CS:GO, Fortnite, all the others, they just take all the RPG out, all the leveling out, and they just get you straight in the action. And that's what PvP is. It's pressing play and being in the game 2 minutes later. Not all this gearing and stuff.
Maybe they're planning to do
that's fair enough.
Maybe they're planning to do a free weekend after the big tournament, right? Like get a bunch of viewership from all the streamers playing it, and then throw in a free weekend or a free week or something.
Yeah, I don't think it makes sense to do a free weekend straight away because people they don't really know what it's about yet.
Right.
And people are going to check in with streamers and hopefully they say nice things and, they're enjoying the game, they're playing it. And the tournament will be hype either way.
Yeah,
it'll have a lot of big names.
Tournament's going to be big.
We'll see if it gets in six digits on Twitch, I'd be impressed.
I definitely think they will. It 100% will. Besides Soda Poppin', every streamer you've heard of in your life is playing it. And Stay Safe's not. Like Osmongold's doing it. Like everyone's doing it.
Yeah,
this is a good little marketing scheme. What they're doing, it's smart. Yeah, they had over 100K win it on launch of the game.
Yeah, so do that. Round that up. Free week.
90.
Come try out Plunderstorm. Yeah,
I like it. Yeah, I'm gonna play it. I've just been watching people play it. Like I said, I'm freaking nuts. Like still on side. Like I still even haven't. I've only put about 5 hours into FF7 Rebirth. Like, and I 100%ed remake. Like, and I never 100% console games ever. I 100%ed it, and then I got it on PlayStation 5, and I beat it. I didn't 100%, but I beat it on normal and then on hard mode again. So like, I love this game, and I'm just like, I'm not done with everything I want done before Phase 3 starts. So got about another week, maybe week and a half, and I'll feel like I'm done with everything I need to get done. Both of my mains, Warsong Gulch, Exalted, AB Exalted, like, I would be faster, but I have a lot of buddies that play too, and I end up just helping them do other random shit. So,
what are you going for Exalted for?
Arathi Basin and Warsong Ghost it's just instant gear, next phase, so it was like having revered in Warsong on all my tunes this time around was just absolutely wonderful. But that was easy. All I had to do was just go do the event once every 2 hours and get 900 to 1200 rep. It was super easy to get revered on everybody. But having that, like, I got right off the bat, got a new bow, new rings, new neck, like on everybody. Like, just it's such a huge jump for the start of the phase 2. So that's why I want to do it. All right, well, yeah. Any last thoughts about Plunderstorm?
Well, one last thing I was going to say, that the 4th video I ever made on my channel was speculating whether Blizzard would ever do a battle royale.
Well,
5 years ago. They've done it, so they caught up.
Yeah. I've thought for years. I've been saying it. I mean, probably first time I said it on a podcast was probably 6 years ago. Like for BlizzCon, it was like a pre-BlizzCon episode, and it might have been 7 years ago, but I was like,
the thing was that they've always had COD, right? So that's kind of had that in by default, hasn't it?
Wait, Evan, what?
Activision. I don't know, that's a battle royale thing, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, well,
I kind of assume it does.
Mine actually, like, wasn't battle royale. Mine was, I just think that Blizzard has so many characters. Super Smash Brothers fighting game, like, I've been wanting from the Blizzard universe forever. Like,
that'd be hype.
That would be cool, I think. But yeah,
I think I was the only person really excited for the survival game. I was actually like,
I was pretty
really
excited.
looking forward to that.
Yeah, we were super. I know Blaze and me and Mel were super pumped for that too.
Yep, and we met some of the crew working on it, and our heart just dropped when we heard the news.
They were hyped about it too. He was really hyped about it. I'm sad that happened. I was extremely excited for that. It really sucks.
Yeah, it does. But who knows? Maybe it'll turn into something else, you know. But
Plunderstorm.
Oh man. All right. Well, yeah. All right. Well, let's move into.
Bobby, we need to have a talk about this World of Warcraft Classic. Do I look like I know what a WoW token is?
Okay, so I don't even know where to start on the Cataclysm talk, but maybe I'll just start on like what I'm most excited for and what I never did back in the day. And I've been getting more excited for it watching ScotteJaye's. Some of his videos have been showing the different questing. There was one where you were like riding on a boat in
insane.
Right below the Barrens.
Needles.
Tails and needles, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm excited to quest, and only to level 60. Yes, only to level 60. And I think, I don't know, I'm planning a goblin and a worgen. Like, those are my plans, but like...
Goblin Starting Zone is amazing. It's
yeah.
so much fun. It's
It
slower
looks
than the other
cool.
ones, but it's really fun. It's really like you get to see the goblins rise with it. It's really cool. I was surprised, because I never did it on private servers, but it was really cool to see it.
It's
They fix it now, too, so...
Tell us about the questing, like... Because it's completely different, right? I mean, are some quests redone, but like different? Like, is everything different?
Obviously, the world is cracked and changed. Every zone is changed from the old world, and the questing feels pretty linear. Like you get a quest. There's a command board at the major cities you can do if you're lost, and it'll tell you where you can go. And for instance, like Ajara is a good example. Or Ajara is completely reworked, and it's a level 11 to 20 zone, or it's like 10 to 20. So you go to Ajara and you start and it's not like, where do I go? It's like you get a quest to talk to one guy. You talk to that one guy and he opens up 3 or 4 other quests right next to him, like other NPCs standing next to him. You go fuck off and do those quests. And when you're done and turn them in, he sends you to a quest, 1,000 meters away to this next quest hub. And then you have 4 or 5 quests there. And the whole game is like that, just quest hub to quest hub to quest hub to quest hub. And then when you're done, it sends you to another zone. Or like Scotty was saying, you can go to, it's like, if you look at it, I look at it like brackets of 5 levels pretty much. Like from level 30 to 35, you can be at this place or this place or this place for those levels. And Scotty can touch on that more because he's did more zones.
Yeah, no, but yeah, that's exactly it. Yeah, it's like, oh, well, do I want to go and do Northern Stranglethorn, or do I want to go and do Hillsbrad, or do I want to go and do Western Plaguelands? The thing that will confuse most people will be how... like zones that you're used to going to at a certain level will be completely different now. Like, the thought of going to and doing Western Plaguelands at like 30, 35 into Eastern Plaguelands at 40, it don't register. You're like, what? No, like that can't be right. And even Barrens, going into Southern Barrens at like 30. But some of the zones are just like, if you like that style of questing, if you like Outland and Northrend, yeah, so if you currently play Wrath and you like Outland and Northrend, you will love 1 to 60. It's as simple as that, because it's close to Outland and Northrend, but better. Because the quests, some of the quests are just really funky. Like using grappling hooks and stuff, and yeah, there's a few too many vehicle related quests for my likings personally. But if you like that. No, yeah, I'm not like, and it does like when you're getting 1 or 2 in every zone, it's like, all right, come on, are
they less clunky than Wrath though? Like Wrath was pretty clunky. I mean,
they're good. They're still cool. They're still fun to do. Some of them, but like Ajara is a prime example. Like the first 3 or 4 levels you spend in a bloody harvester.
I was waiting to say that. Yeah, dude, you're just cutting trees down and like trying to like get these like weird fucking like hunter archers that drop out of a tree, and I don't know if it was bugged, but it doesn't drop out of every tree. It was painful.
Yeah, and
it's like they had a good idea. They had a good idea, and like it was a lot of fun, and then they just like did way too much of it. Where you're like, this would have been cool if it was like one, like every couple zones. But
yeah,
there's a lot.
Couldn't you get this out of your system in Wrath? You did enough vehicle quests in Wrath. You can stop.
The res were clunky,
it seems
though.
more at lower levels, though, to be fair. So, like, Ajara's a prime example. You do find it less in the higher level zones, but some of the zones, like, that you just ordinarily wouldn't go to, like Desolus. Desolus is, in my opinion, probably the best zone. So when I put that video out, when I was talking, trust me.
I've been avoiding it because I hate it so much. I didn't know it was good.
Oh man, honestly, it is insane. And if you're a paladin doing it, 30, like 30 to 35.
I'll do that on the next one.
Obviously, they're mostly all demons, so like exorcism's critting, and I was just running around one shot and everything with exorcism. Like it was just so fun. But like the quests in Desolus just feel so well thought out. Like I'd say that's probably my number one favorite zone, and followed then by probably Thousand Needles, just because I get my own boat. But overall, the questing is just fantastic. Like honestly, and exactly what Crix said. Basically, go to a zone and be like, right, I'm going to be here for 5 levels. The vast majority of the zones are exactly that. Yeah, very quick levels.
Quick, so it's like perfect because you don't get bored. One thing I really, really liked, if I use Stranglethorn as an example, is split. Instead of being Stranglethorn, it's northern, and then a cape, which is southern. And like we're pretty much split right in the middle. The northern one is, those Tiger Mastery quests, the Raptor Mastery quests, where you have to go pick up the quest, kill 10 raptors, go run back, turn it in, kill 10 more raptors, go run back, turn it in, kill 10 more, run back, turn it in, then kill the Testis guy, the main one. Instead of having to do that, you go pick up the quest hub of, like, you pick up the raptor, the panther, and the tiger one, and then you go fuck off and do the quest. But this time, when you get the 10 raptors, for example, you don't have to run back. A quest ping pops up on the side of your screen unless you turn it in right there, and it gives you the other one right there. And then you just go 200 meters over there to kill the next one, so it's like really
I was going to say that this is huge.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Also, Mountain 20, which was in Wrath, but pretty cool though too.
Also, at the start of dungeons, they just have quests there.
Yeah, I
you
heard that.
Collecting them anymore. They're just there.
A good amount of quests. Some have like, some have like 1 or 2 quests, but then there's like, RFD had like 4, but then you go to like, what was it? Scholomance. So I did Scholomance last time in the beta, and I swear to you, it was 8 quests from Scholomance, all just very easy to do. And it was the dungeon reworks on some of these dungeons. I don't like the Dead Mines dungeon rework that much, but like, the SFK one was dope. Like a lot of them are it's just really fun. And you don't have to do the dungeons, but it's really easy to do. Yeah. RDF is down on the beta, so you can't RDF anyway. But you have to walk into the dungeons.
As well, the speed run.
There is no RDF.
Yeah. It's the best.
No, it's RDF in the really game, but like when you open it, it's locked. Like you can't do it. It just says that you don't meet the requirements.
I think it's locked for the beta, right? They told us in the Discord that the purpose of, because everyone's like, we can't RDF. Where's the templates and the copies? And they're like, that's not the worry right now. The worry is 1 to 60 testing each zone and bug report everything that you possibly can.
You can. There is one bit of cata content you can do though. You can go do Blackrock Caverns at the first dungeon. Apparently, I've not gone and done it because like I've been at 80, because it's not in a new zone, is it? Like, it's in Blackrock Mountain. So that's apparently actually working. But the problem, I think he was telling me, the problem was if you died, you couldn't get back in without being rezzed or something. So it's buggy, but it's not really meant to even be available.
Yeah, probably an oversight.
If you know a group of people, you can go and do Blackrock Caverns.
Well, okay, I've also heard.
Oh, go on, Bob.
Oh no, you go ahead.
It might be a bit of a conversation thing, but I remember mentioning this to a streamer a bit ago. Basically said back in old Cata, I don't know about you guys, but I already had a character at level cap, so I didn't really go back and see the old content as much.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I did 2 characters to 80 to 85. Didn't do 1. I even had a goblin, but I just changed him via the store. I didn't work up the goblin.
Appreciated, I guess. And I was saying, what if the Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor, in one way or another, were level scaled from 1 to 80? So your starter zones would go from like 1 to 10, and then you'd have zones which go from, I don't know, like 60 to 80. So if you want to continue questing there and not go back to TBC and Wrath, which you've probably done a lot of times, then you'd have the option to do so.
It sounds wonderful.
All over that.
Sounds absolutely wonderful.
100%. Yeah. I hated going through. I didn't mind going through TBC because I like TBC.
It's ruined rested XP, obviously. So if they did that, then sorry, Tommy. It could be an idea, because the thing is, like we've been mentioning, you could take 4 characters through this content. There's way more XP than you need, And I haven't done it this time around yet, but I remember back in the day getting to TBC and being like, this sucks, to be honest. The questing just isn't anywhere near as good. Like, if we're going to do linear questing, Kata does it better than TBC, and I think it does it better than Wrath too.
And Mick Nolte in chat points out that it doesn't really make sense to go to Outland and Wrath and Kata. I don't know if that's true, but it seems like it might be true lore-wise.
Yeah, I mean, a big benefit would be is you'll be able to really finish out a zone in case, instead of being like, oh, this isn't efficient anymore. You know, the arrow is telling me to go over here, but I want to see what happens at the end of this story. So maybe that's a bit of a efficiency problem, but at the same time, you could, be over leveled for an area, but you want to finish it. And if it was scaled, you'd be able to do so. Obviously, people, take issue with scaling since they did it in, I want to say Legion. It's one of the more recent expansions, but I think just having that opportunity to appreciate the old world rework as opposed to having to go back to TBC and Wrath would be good.
So if we're looking,
there'd be some kind of restrictions. You wouldn't be like in Elwyn Forest and there's a level 80 sheep which can one-shot you, right? They'd be like capped at level 10. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
or whatever makes sense.
A realistic thing they could do is at 60. Anywhere you could just go back and do whatever quest you want, and the quest rewards scale, like the quest EXP and gold scales, but nothing else does. So you can go ahead and go do Elwood Forest. You're just going to destroy everything, but you'll still get that quest EXP, and then that's an easy thing for them to change, to be honest.
I mean, that would just make it like nobody would be anywhere else. Like, why would you do anything other than the starting zone if you got the same?
Well, I mean, you would run out of starting zones. Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying, who
like
cares?
Everything is scaled.
Yeah, but if everything's scaled, it'd be weird.
The leveling zones a lot. It's like instead of a zone being like 45 to 50, it'd be 50 to 70. So you can basically go there over a much bigger range of levels. I think that would be cooler. Like, scales up with you. I don't know. I just
don't think they would make that change. I think we could talk them into just making the quest change. And then
I got to be honest, like, all good ideas, don't get me wrong. And I'd love to stay in Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor over, Outland and Northrend, but it's actually fine how it is, in my opinion. It's still really fun, like that. Mm-hmm. If there's other things that they could change or content that they could add that would be far more important than spending loads of time, worrying about the leveling journey too much, in my opinion. Again, I think it's so much better than it was that, if they was going to invest some time in doing something a bit more drastic, I'd rather see like more end game content, like time walking raids, things like that. If we're talking about scaling content, I'd rather see raids scaled. So there's more raids to do or dungeon scaled,
Another thing about Outlands and Northrend right now is while it's maybe more boring because we've done it a lot, it's still faster than it was. And also that's when a lot of the classes open up with their abilities. You start reaching towards the end of your, 75% to 100% of your talent tree when you're in Outlands. So 1 to 60 is nice, but you don't have a lot of your main abilities that you have on some classes, not all classes, right? So you really open up and be able to, okay, now I'm in Outlands at, Zangarmarsh or Nagrand or whatever. And I finally got, whatever set ability that you've been waiting the whole time to try it. So it's still kind of fun because the classes change drastically as well.
I bet.
And you've also got to remember that Blizzard, one of the specific changes that Blizzard said they are making is Outland and Northrend will be even faster. As in they're going to accelerate it even further. So they already got it at the front of their mind that they don't want us in Outland and Northrend that long. So we're probably going to have some sort of like 100% extra XP Joyous Journeys type thing just for 60 to 80.
I just don't think they put it in yet.
Though.
Yeah.
No, they ain't put it in. They ain't put it in yet.
Yeah.
I'm guessing
what the private server does. Probably on White Man, you hit level 60 and you hit something in your mailbox, and when you open that thing in the mailbox, you just boost you to 80. You just skip 60 to 80.
Well, I'm guessing you could also
sorting that mess out, right?
Since they redid all the quests, this is just so curious. You could probably just work up to 65 still in Eastern and Kalimdor. But I don't know if because the reason you would never, 65. The reason you would never do that in the past, you would always immediately, when you hit 58, go to Outland, because the quests, even though about the same level gave you twice as much EXP. So I don't know if that's still the case, because that would force you to want to go to Outland just to go quicker. But I don't know what's been changed.
On the basis that they're gonna, like I say, that is one specific change that they said at BlizzCon was 1 to 60 is going to be the same. 60 to 80 is going to be made faster to get you into the new content. So I would guess in Outland and Northrend, thinking about for Blizzard something easy to do, it would be whenever you're in Outland or Northrend, you've got 100% extra XP buff or 50%, whatever they go with. I hope they go for 100%.
300.
Quite honestly, I'd like to. I'd want at least 100. Just to get like blaze through that. So you've done all fun leveling from 1 to 60. You get in Outland, that's not painful at all because you're just going to blast through it in, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours tops. Then on to Northrend. Like I'd really like that personally.
Sure.
It'd be a bit easier than scaling everything. Also, between 70 and 80, they reduced the amount of XP you needed back in the day by like 30%, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that is already going to be faster. Wow. Also, for leveling, in case anyone doesn't know, you get dual spec at level 30, and it costs 10 gold. So if you want to do some dungeons, you can just pop on a healer, on a tank, whatever you want. Go send them. It'll be really fast.
Yeah, Classic makes a good question.
I wouldn't mind if you could pick any spec.
Only had a question earlier I was going to bring up for WillE. He was saying, wouldn't it be harder to appreciate the reworked world when you never have to go back to quest hubs or go around to gather breadcrumbs for dungeon quests? So I think he's saying like the more streamlined quest hubs and things like that is like removing the appreciation of the new world that we're supposed to be getting.
Wait, sorry, what?
Yeah, well, you don't get breadcrumb quests for dungeons anyway anymore. All the quests are just in the. I mean, there may be the odd quest where it says go to RFD or something. I must admit, in the 2 or 3 characters I've been leveling recently, I don't remember seeing one.
What he's pointing out, though,
in, Eastern Plaguelands that leads to Skull. Only one, though.
What he's pointing out, though, is like those breadcrumb quests take you to other areas to help you appreciate the world of Azeroth. Same as like the flight paths fly so low in vanilla to like show you all the world that they created. Like you say, without those breadcrumb quests and running all over the place, like you don't see everything you could see. I think that's what he's saying.
Yeah, okay. I mean, that's fair enough, but that goes for questing. It's not just dungeon quests. That's everything.
Oh, actually,
it's absolutely everything. You go to a zone, you do the zone, you do the next zone. It doesn't work like that anymore.
To piggyback off what you just said, that's another thing that's drastically changed in Cata is there's a ton of flight paths. Where a zone would normally have 1 flight path, it has like 5. Like, and you could just go, and your starting character, like if you make a human, you have like your flight path for Westfall already, your Stormwind one, your Red Ridge one, and I think your Duskwood one. And then like example of Westfall, there's like 3 or 4 flight paths in Westfall. It's crazy. There's so many. Yeah, they add so many flight paths to everything.
Do you think it's overkill?
Too. It's
I mean, I'm lazy, so I don't have to run. I don't mind.
But don't we have flying mounts too? So like, are the flight paths
not
even
in the old world?
Oh
you do in the old world. You just have to be 60.
Maybe that's why they added them. Though, because you can't fly. Wait, you can fly in the old world at 60?
At 60, yeah.
Yeah, they reworked the world to make that happen. Okay. We haven't really got one last thing I wanted to say about the world and questing. Isn't there a lot more like voiced over quests? I love voiced over quests.
I don't know.
I don't play with sound on, maybe.
Yeah, I got the auto turn in, and I don't know. I don't think so. I know that there's more NPCs that talk, like when you're just walking by them and stuff, but I don't know if it's a quest.
I'm pretty sure there is in starter zones outside of that. Don't know.
Gotcha.
I mean, there's some amazing stories though. Like actually it's not. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite zones purely because I don't like traveling around it. But Badlands now, I mean, the punch Deathwing in the face quest line is just like, it's fucking bonkers, but it is so fun. Where it's like 3 different. You're in a story and 3 different people have got a different set of events of how they and what they done with Deathwing. So like, you'll do one part of the story where you're a big gnome and you go and punch him in the face. You'll do another one where you pick what race woman you want to save on your bike, and then you fly up in the air and go and like insult Deathwing. It's mental. And then the puzzle quest in the temple was really cool as well. Well, they're bugged at the moment, but they were still.
I was
really
able
good.
to do them last night. The 2 puzzles. I think they fixed them.
No, they work. But if you've
visually.
the one where you've got to move the pieces around so they're all facing inwards.
Yeah.
If you've got like 5 or 6 people doing it, there'll be 5 or 6 sets of of pieces on the board, so you don't know whose is who.
Okay. I noticed the purple beam was like going in weird directions too. Like that was really buggy.
The more people doing that as well, you'll see everybody's beam. So the room
It was
will be
funny
covered
watching
in
people
beams.
try to do that. I did it yesterday. I obviously Rested XP tells you how to do it, but like I was just sitting there doing it, and some guy comes up, he goes, "How did you do that?" I was like, "I don't know." You just
You download Rested XP code Crix.
It was funny. Yeah, but it's really cool. I put that. Badlands is dope. Yeah, a lot of running around, like Scotty said. Though it's one of the bigger ones, but it's still pretty cool to see everything.
Cool. Well, you did bring up the last thing I wanted to talk about questing. This is the last one. Sorry guys, I have just so many questions. But recently, a video from Hamster Wheel came out, and he didn't dog on Cata, but I love Mr. Hamster, and I check out everything he puts out. He doesn't put out a ton anymore, but he's a dad. He's doing stuff, but I like him. And he talks about how easy questing is, and that looks like kind of a bummer. He was in the starting zone, like basically half naked with some gray gear on, and one-shotting mobs as like he takes no damage. Is that how it is? Like, is it really that easy?
As a level 2 druid, I'll tell you, that was a lot of fun.
On my warlock as Destro, mobs don't get to me. On my elemental shaman, mobs might get to me a little bit every now and then, but they don't do that much damage. Like, you don't need gear for that. But yeah, so I feel like it is rather easy. There's nowhere where I'm like, this is a hard quest, or even like close to almost dying, unless I'm pulling like a shit ton of mobs.
There's
I think it's
pros and cons to that. Yeah, there's pros and cons.
It's very class dependent as well. And at the same time, it's like I still feel like I level easier on Season of Discovery than I do Cata.
Yeah, but there's still things we have to be like, we need a group for this, or you have to think out, should we get some consumes for this?
Obviously, that's not the point. Obviously on Cata, no, that is not the point. Like, you shouldn't. There's not many quests you would need a group for. But
I don't think there's any. Right?
Well, other than like Amphitheater and Ring of Blood,
yeah, you can't solo Ring of Blood. I tried it, failed.
Yeah, I tried it as well. But yeah, so there's still a couple, but that's about the Ring of Blood and that, and Rage Main in Zoldrak. Still, I did solo it, but it did hit hard. But yeah, like it's not the point. It's meant to be. I wouldn't say like easy. I don't think it's any easier than Wrath. Right. Like Wrath, well, certainly with no heirlooms. Like Wrath in full heirlooms, I would still say is easier than Cata with none.
Because Wrath, you can just run around. The thing is, like, I can't, on my Warlock, for example, unlike Wrath, where I can run and just pull a million mobs and keep going nonstop, you can't do that. I can't do that in Cata. So if you're fighting 1 to 2 mobs, they're dead before they can do anything. You start pulling a bunch of mobs, you're going to die.
I'm still trying to get myself out of the sod brain and like back to Wrath where I was, and then into Cata. So are heirlooms still going to be a big thing in Cata? Like,
they're a bigger thing.
They become a bigger thing.
Yep, there's more.
That's an unfortunate part, I think, but
I do like,
either way. And they're really cheap too to get as well. They're like 1,400 gold. You get one and you unlocks it for everybody, all your whole count.
Yeah, I don't see whether it's too easy or too hard to quest. Like, I don't know. It depends what you want. Like, I don't really want questing to be hard. That's not like why I like. That's not why I play the game. I don't play the game thinking, God, I hope this 1 to 8 is really challenging. It's like, well, no, I just want to get to 80 and start raiding. I want the quest to feel fun, and I think that's what Cata actually does.
It looks, like, and that's what Hamster said too.
You can still do things wrong, but the quests are actually fun to do.
Yeah, like Hamster said, they like, don't get him wrong, they are fun, but he just never feels any sense of danger in the world. Whereas, like, you can feel that in SOD, especially if you go to the wrong spot. You get in a hyper spawn group of Murlocs. Even a level 40 rogue and level 38 lock can die because you just never stop fighting.
Are horrible.
It's also buff though. They buffed Sod out.
Yeah. Well, they buffed the damage. They didn't buff the health, which I thought was cool. But like I'm just trying to get a gauge for it. Is also one thing that threw me off when I went to play Dragonflight is quests, escort quests. I remember waiting for Mel and being like, Mel, are you coming? And she's like, I'm on the quest. I'm like, no, the dude's standing right here. But she had a instanced dude that I couldn't see walking with her. And like, you do the quest solo, basically, even if you're in a group. Does that start in Cata? Is that like,
no. Yeah, you'll both do the same quest. Yeah, we'll share it.
Still the good old escort way.
You'll both still get mad at somebody who accepted the quest before you could turn in the other quest. Like that's still
perfect.
Still have that conflict.
Perfect. I like that. I like that. It took me out of the game.
It has auto quest turn off and turn on.
Yeah, I mean, like it also lets you know if you know how smart the people you're playing with are.
So the thing is, when we talk about questing, like I am, and I know I am, like I'm so biased that like no one would ever change my mind. You know, like you could pick any negatives or any flaws you want in Cata questing, and I would still probably find a way to say, well, no, actually, that's a good thing. They're too easy. Good. I don't want them hard. You know, I just want to smash through and enjoy myself.
That's okay.
You know, like you can fly in the old world. Yeah, good. Like, no, I want to be able to fly in the old world. I can get around quicker.
Let's talk about that. Flying in the old world. I did it once in Cata. At 85, I just flew everywhere. It's on my second character. It's like how I opened up the entire map, I think, is what I did. But either way, I flew over it once. How do we feel about flying in 2024? How do you guys feel about it? You like it?
I'm not trying to run around everywhere. Yeah, I like flying.
Scotty?
Why people don't like it.
Well, all I'll say, and I think even if there's anybody in chat or watching the VOD back or anything like that that's even on the fence, is if you don't like flying in the old world, enjoy leveling archaeology.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all I'll say.
Why?
I challenge.
Yeah, they
you.
designed
flying
it
in the old
for.
world sucks.
Yeah, they designed it for
to level
flying.
Archaeology without.
Yeah, you can't take flying from Wrath or TBC. I'm just saying, like, just what are your thoughts on flying just in general? I'm not saying you can't take it out. Like, they're built for it, like, especially Wrath and TBC and everything. Like, they're built for it. You can't take it out. But how do you feel about it?
There's also, like, something you can do if you don't like flying in the old world, and it's not flying. Run around.
Yeah, use
run around. Just run around and use flight pass if you don't like it.
That's always the worst thing, though. That's the whole thing with the like Quest EXP thing. You can just click off the buff, but nobody's going to do that.
Though. like in like being completely serious. Forget archaeology. Forget everything. It really, it makes it feel. It does make it feel fresh. You know, as in like when you are like you're mounting up and flying out of Stormwind to go and help someone with I don't know. Dead mines, or you're going and doing like just flying around in the old zones. You've got the old nostalgia below you, but you're flying. Yeah, it just feels. It I like it. It feels fresh. It's like a new perspective.
What about you, WillE? Mel, go.
We've all walked through this world so many times.
Like, well, not this new Cata world. Not this new Cata world. You're going to walk through it once, go into 60.
Then we can see it from an aerial point of view, which we've also never seen it from, you know, and it's just...
It is pretty gorgeous. Like, I do remember that. Be like, whoa, that's cool.
But you have to walk through the Cata world. Now, here's the thing. If you want the experience of Cata, I think you have to level a new character, right? To get that experience of walking through the new world. If you don't care about that, then you can fly through the old world and call it a day, right? But I just feel like still requiring us, like nothing was worse like than making you go back to the old world for something and not being able to fly once you could fly everywhere else. Like that felt bad. Like
that was rough.
You're just like, oh, you get on your like little stationary mount and you're like, oh, I'm moving kind of, and I have to go 20,000 feet out of the way to get around this mountain that I forgot about, and yeah, it's rough.
What
and
about
that's the
you,
thing, Mel? So you, sorry, just this is really quick.
Mel,
you hit the nail on the head there. about, you know, to really experience Cata, you need to start a new character. I would encourage anyone, even if you're not sure that you're going to play Cata or want to play Cata, when a pre-patch comes out, if there's not much going on Season of Discovery and that's what you play, just level a character and see.
Definitely.
Because while you might look at it and be like, you know, Firelands only a 7-boss raid, you know, Dragon Soul is a fairly lackluster raid. Obviously, the first tier of raiding is absolutely amazing. Don't get me wrong. But when you then think about what Blizzard did with Eastern Kingdoms and Kalimdor, you know, redesigning every quest almost from the ground up and the whole leveling experience, if you're going into Cata at 80, you're missing out on so much content that they'd actually put in the game to enhance the leveling experience. You know what I mean? So I think everyone, I will be, and I'd imagine probably everybody on this call will be, should be leveling a character during the pre-patch.
Definitely. I'm excited for it. Yeah,
do we know when the pre-patch comes out?
Hold on. I want to get.
I was just curious.
I think that one problem that we're all forgetting about is RDF is in the game, and you're gonna level. A lot of people are just gonna level to 15 and spam dungeons.
Yep.
They're not gonna see the old world as beautiful as it is. As much as we tell them to, they're gonna do whatever to get level 15, and then they're gonna sit AFK and press I and spam random dungeon fighter.
Yeah, see, it wouldn't be the most efficient way though. I think like you want to do every dungeon. Like you want to do every dungeon to get the quest done. But like me personally, I'll be doing that. I'll be queued while I'm questing.
That's what I'll probably do.
If I get the same dungeon back to back, I'll leave.
Yep.
And
then I'll quest while I wait out the.
Just work it off.
Yeah, just wait. Yeah, just quest while you wait out the thing. WillE, though, I want to know what you think about flying here in 2024.
I mean, I've got Invincible, and I'm gonna use it. So,
congrats.
Yeah, damn right. No, the game's made around flying. Like they redesigned the old world so you could fly. Yeah, it's I don't know. It's just part of the game. Same with TBC and stuff. Like I've never really had an issue with it.
But
I don't know. It just feels like a gameplay feature that they built the game around.
So
as pretty much anything else.
Where I'm going with this is I was so pro flying. I mean, like I made fun of North on Twitter back when he said flying should have never came into the game. I gave him shit. Like he wanted elevators, and I sent him a gif of a dude going up one of those old people stair things. I mean, I thought it was the dumbest thing ever to hate flying. And now I'm on North's side. I'm like, flying should have never come into the game. They should have never designed the game around flying. Like it makes the bottom of the world feel so much more dead. You don't see people riding by. It's hard as shit to look up in the game. So to even see anybody, if you don't have, you see shadows and that's it. Like I thought to myself, flying should have never been in the game. But then I had another thought of an opportunity Cata could still do right now. Cata is on Dragonflight engine. And I think the flying we have right now kind of sucks. It's kind of lame. You float like but Dragonflight flying was the coolest part of Dragonflight. I absolutely loved it. What if we could get that type of flying instead in Cata? How would you guys feel about that? Mel says no.
I only did the like where you had to like really work at flying, right? Like I don't want to,
which is cool. Like
no.
And it has momentum, like, and you can't just float up in the air. Like I thought it was freaking cool. But everybody, who wants to go?
Your own little mini game in flying, and like that's not why I want to fly. I don't want to put in like I want to be able to fly and not have to worry about it. Like I want to auto run.
Yeah, exactly. Bob, have you ever watched me stream? Clearly not. I literally line myself up in the rough direction I want to go. I press auto run and I go and make a
100%.
drink.
That's what I do too, and I think it's lame. I think it's lame. That's what I do too. Shit, I do that on land though too. Dragon riding is so good.
Stuff, but yeah, it is good. But
apparently you can choose either in Dragonflight.
Yeah,
I don't think you should put Dragonflight flying in the game yet. The Dragon actual.
I don't know. See, they'd have to like down-res the models and stuff. And there's all these like cosmetics that you wouldn't be able to get.
It's one of those things. I don't care. Yeah, if they turn around tomorrow and was like, "Look, for Cat, you know, we are going to make some wacky changes. You know, we're putting in the dragon riding. Like, I wouldn't be like, oh, what? Oh, why are you doing that? I'll be like, all right, cool. That's what I like to see. I want to see him take some risks with Cata onwards. So actually, like, no, I don't want it, but yes, I would actually be pleased to see Blizzard take a bit of a chance with a change like that for Cata. So
I think I'm sorry, go on.
No, that was it. Yeah.
I think that the Parrot Mount from Plunderstorm is dragon riding, by the way.
Yeah, for
it works that way, I think. So
I think they've changed a lot of the models to work
dragon
with
riding Cata, but you have to cap your Renon in Plunderstorm.
Well, and I mean,
archaeology faster.
Yeah, table says like you could use either, you know, and you just go way faster if you're actually dragon riding. Because for anybody classic people who didn't play Dragonflight, it's I hear it's similar to Guild Wars flying. Like it's like you actually have momentum lift. Like your mount has like stamina in the form of like you can, you know, have a bar you could hit like a few different times like to get a speed boost, but like your best bet's to like dive to get speed and then come back up. I mean, just like you would an actual glider, IRL, and it's just, it brings skill into flying and it makes it so you can't just hang out in the air. And that's what I think's lame about like the current flying is that you can just hang out in the air, and I don't know. I thought I loved it,
but
I didn't.
Up and auto fly.
Yeah, like I thought I loved flying, but it turned out playing it all through again and then going back to SOD and stuff. I'm like, no, man, I don't like flying. But yeah, I was just curious how you guys felt about that. Like, I thought it could be a cool thing to bring in.
I like the whole good old auto run.
Yeah,
because I play a lot of retail, so the dragon flying is like whatever. I like it, but sometimes I like to being able to auto run. In retail, you can also just port a portal everywhere. Like whenever you need to do anything, it's easy to get around.
Maybe too easy.
Way too easy, but I take it.
Yeah, so that's. I mean, I'm trying to think of what else. I mean, what should we hit next? Like, there's so much to hit.
A couple of things about leveling that we didn't mention was they also remade a large portion of the music in the zones too, and the new music is amazing. I've been playing like
tons of it.
Yeah, dude, full immersioned out and hearing like the new Elven Forest, the new Stormer music, the new name the zone, and there's a new music to it. They'll still have the old track from like Hills Redfoot Hills or Hills Brad. They'll have like the old track, and then like a couple minutes into it, it'll switch up and go to this brand new like orchestrated, just heaven, beautiful on your ears.
I've never had music on.
Oh, it sounds Warcraft. So good. It sounds so good. I usually don't either, but it's just the immersion of it there, just seeing the new zones and the new quest and just being in the immersion of it is really fun. I like
the remakes of the old and new. Like I was doing the Worgen starting zone, and I heard the Naxxramas thing, you know, the one with the violin.
Yeah.
Like the violin thing goes on forever. They play that there. And they play the music when you're fighting the Lich King in the Gilneas starting zone, which I think that's the only other time you ever hear it. So I was like, what the wait, am I back here again? What's going on?
I was leveling
one of the
in
best video game soundtracks of like almost one of the best, top 5.
It's very good.
I was leveling in Desolace and Joyner Lucas was on. That was quite good as well. I mean, maybe it was just Spotify. I'm not sure. I don't know if our game sounds on or not. I gotta be honest.
And then another thing that's very big and different is rares are in the world, obviously rare mobs, and they give you like, I don't know, 30 times the experience or something. Like if you normally would get 200 experience from killing a mob, you kill a rare and you get like 3,000, like more than what you get for turning in a quest just for killing the simple mob that has a little bit more health than a regular mob. And so you're like on the you're like
so
on the
rare
lookout
scanner
for them.
is
Rare scanner's base. Rest XP also tells you where the like it'll be like, hey, check for this rare in this area. And like with the first character I leveled when the beta opened up, the first my warlock I leveled when beta first opened up, there was there was like 30 people playing in the beta total. So I was like free roam, got all the elites or they're not elites, the rares, and then now on my second or third character, I almost get no rares, right?
Yeah, I was the same.
So rares are so when you find one, you get so happy. I get so happy when I find one because it's like literally a quest, if not more than a whole quest's worth of experience from just and a good BOE. Obviously, it could be anything, so you might not be able to use it, but you get a really good piece of gear from it too. You can, which is really nice.
Because some of the maps were still the old world map, even though you was in the new version. I literally next to me, I had a map up of the current zone I was in with all the rares, and anytime I was in an area, I was trying to slash target him.
Yeah.
Because I never had rare scanner or anything on at the time, obviously. We're talking night one when the beta launched.
Yeah.
And yeah, like you say, I'm pretty sure I killed pretty much every rare in every zone, on the way up.
A lot of experience. I was shocked at how much experience it was. And I didn't see chat telling me about it, so I just killed this mob, and I was like, damn, I just got a lot. Why do you give me so much experience? And chat's like, bro, old world rares. Damn.
Yeah, you were talking about
Why didn't nobody tell me this?
Rested used to utilize unit scan early on, but then they built it into Rested, so it just finds the rares for you now. Like, I don't know if you've had it on while you were doing Scarlet Monastery, but it just lets you know, in a much less way than unit scan does.
More
like a nice little ting, lets you know that there's a rare close.
It was best in hardcore though.
Oh
right?
yeah,
it was.
It gave you this terrifying noise where you were like, ah, ah, ah.
Yeah.
It actually added to the fear. It was great. Then you'd always run the opposite way.
Your heart rate went
you'd
up
run into the mob
just hearing it.
Then you can type in the names of the mobs that you want to avoid in the zones, the elites that are on there, so you know when they're in your area.
And you could also do it for known griefers. I had known griefers, so they're leveling in Westfall, and what's his name? The one rogue guy pops up on Uniscan, and I immediately just run for the hills.
Gotta go.
Oh man, it's so funny. So yeah, where do you even go? So let's do legendaries. Let's do there's new legendaries. We're gonna go all over the place. We're not gonna hit everything. I don't know. So if you guys specifically want to talk about certain things, let me know. I don't know exactly what to talk about. I'm just kind of bringing things up. But I know WillE did want to talk about legendaries.
Yeah, I just put them on there, I guess, for a few different points. But just saying, I know as healer, disc priest, I'm gonna need Tarragos's Wrath for the double smite for the heals, basically. So it's kind of funny you can play a healer and still want the staff.
It's gonna be rough for you there, bud.
Yeah. No, we'll find the way. They're gonna. One of the things to mention.
The staff is very big. It comes with Firelands.
You have to tell me this because I'm going to be a disc priest and I don't know anything about this. So
it's like the first time casters get an actual good legendary because AT-ish was ass, right? And it's just a big staff that you get from after you do some Fireland stuff that a typical farm the pieces up. And it usually you fight between your casters. It's best. Technically, it's obviously give it to your best player, do whatever your guild's going to do. But technically, it's BIS on me. It's BIS for everybody, but the best option is usually a mage, and then you fight between your Ellie and your Demo or whatever else after that.
Yeah,
but we had Valinir, right?
Yeah, but we could. I mean, I don't know about you, but warlocks and mages can't use Valinir.
Yeah,
your warlocks and mages will be hard carrying your raids for a while.
Yeah, but it's basically legendary staff has a proc chance for it, duplicates a spell, and it's the difference maker between having it and not having it it's a big deal, especially because main stat's very important in Cata for making you do more healing or damage.
Yep.
So you're saying I need to reconnect with my guild before Cata so that they
getting it as a disc
again.
Is a tall order, by the way.
Yeah,
you're not going to get that in most guilds.
It's a meme. It's not a tall order. It's a meme.
You got to be like the guild master to get that one.
We have discs with Valinir, and that's a meme.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I mean, discs in PvP though is freaking unreal.
I will get one eventually. Okay, I'm telling you. The thing is, they're gonna increase the speed at which we're getting legendary, so it won't be as fast as it was back in the day. I'm very confident this will happen because they've already expressed the desire to speed up the content cadence of Cata. And in Ulduar, they didn't increase the drop rate of shards at the start of Ulduar, but then they went and did it afterwards, where they got guaranteed off a few bosses, and they preemptively knocked off. I think it was half the farming time for Shadowmourne on average. So
all they've got to do for Dragon Wrath is just have heroic values from normal. That's it. They're not going to do anything else.
What they did with shards, right? Shadowfrost shards.
Shadowfrost shards, yeah, exactly. So just have heroic. So 25 man will still be quicker to get it than 10 man, but they just drop nearly a set amount. There's no 10 man normal versus 10 man heroic versus 25 man normal versus 25 heroic. I think that would speed it up drastically.
Yeah, there's no need to segment. It's not like it's different nowadays anyways. In Cat, it's all the same in terms of loot, so why not have similar amounts for that as well, I guess.
So you said
it's a big staff. I wanted to let everyone else say something first, but like I've got a working, which I'm happy to share with anyone. A working version of 4.3.4 Simcraft, which is. I'm sure modern Sims, will probably make better Sims now than it was back then. But apparently, the person who made it actually works at Blizzard now, so it's got to be half decent. But it's quite surprising when you actually run Sims in full BIS tier 12 and tier 13, because Dragonwrath actually in most circumstances, Ellie Shaman actually get the most damage out of it, and then it's Fire Mage. But it is very luck dependent. Obviously, a Shaman the stars align because it procs their mastery and everything as well. You can get like 4 or 5 lava bursts. I mean, I've seen 4.
Yeah.
Personally, I have used it on an Ellie Shaman. Yeah, I have used it on Ellie Shaman, got 4. But I have seen screenshots from Cataclysm originally of getting 5.
So like they're shooting they get their lava burst off and their overlord, and both of those turning.
I've got a sheet. I've literally been testing it with. I've tested it on Disc Priest. I've tested it as the only thing I find strange with Disc Priest in particular, and this is not because I know McNulty wants it, and now WillE as well. So I've got 2 reasons. I got 2 reasons to say it's shit on Disc Priest. It obviously it does arcane damage. It's like the duplicated spell is arcane damage. So, Atonement doesn't specifically say. So it makes sense that it works as a Disc Priest, because Atonement is your Smite and Holy Fire. And now the duplicated spell will still be Smite and Holy Fire, but it won't be holy damage. I thought it was just dots that were arcane. I thought it copied the damage type. No, everything should be arcane.
Fair enough.
It doesn't matter, because it's still going to do the same amount of damage, and it benefits from your talents and everything like it ordinarily would. I've got a World of Logs log of a mage using it, but the thing is, it went through so many changes as well. By the way, if you try and look at information on how it should work versus how it works on Whitemane, or how it works on like Trinity Core, what I use, which is like my own private hosted private server, like it's really difficult to tell how it's going to work in Classic, because it like the proc chance was nerfed massively, the damage type was nerfed, how it interacted with dots was changed. Like it actually went through loads. If you go through undocumented changes on Wellpedia, like it went through tons. But if you want to get 5, if the stars align, this is apparently how it would work. For a perfect scenario as an Ellie Shaman, your initial lava burst would hit. Your initial lava burst would hit the target. Overload would proc from the initial lava burst. The staff would proc and copy the initial lava burst. The overload proc will also then get a copy of from the staff, and the staff procs the copy of the overload.
That's nutty.
So. Yeah, but I've only ever got it to do 4. So again, this could have been during 4.2 and it went through different changes. But yeah, apparently, according to this, there has been 5. That is mental. Yeah, for Ellie Shaman, it's mental. But for Fire Mage, like from everything that I've looked at, Sims that I've run myself on old Sims, like Fire Mage is more consistent with it. Ellie Shaman can get really lucky and do disgusting numbers. Yeah, exactly.
No, but it's exciting though. It's a huge. I'm going to look forward to see how it ends up working, because it might be as good as you're saying. It might be worse. Who knows? Either way, you're going to want it because it's orange and main stat.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's the first time that I'm excited, because it's the first time casters get something that's actually good.
Yeah, something
we don't ever get.
Really good.
ATS,
and you really want it.
Yeah, it feels like all the legendaries have always been melee based, which obviously there's two more legendaries for melee to get right here, but like. It's just really nice to be able to look forward to something that you'll get at some point.
And it's a mount. Just an added bonus is just you're always going to use it as your go-to mount as well.
So you just ride it like you're a witch?
No, you turn into it.
Oh, I think it would have been better if you just rode it like you did Harry Potter.
You turn into like a Taragosa. It's not actually exactly the same skin as Taragosa, but you know.
Oh yeah,
you turn
somebody
into a
can
dragon.
ride you. Yeah.
No one can ride you on Taragosa.
Is that something else?
That's Sandstone Drake. That's from archaeology / alchemy.
Ah, okay. Dude, you said
right.
you said that Disc Priest was a meme. Like I only played the first.
With the staff. I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, like, I was like, dude, I only played the first tier, and I was in just a 10-man group, but like I carried healing as Disc.
Disc Priest is insane, and Disc Priest is. I mean, there's certain fights where it's absolutely overpowered, like Halfa. So I always use Halfa as an example.
Yeah, I had like 3 times the healing the other healer did. I remember.
But you can literally just DPS.
I did DPS shield. A lot. Yeah, I shielded.
You'll shield.
I'll renew here and there, and then like basically just was healing the tank by killing.
Losing his shit that you said you use renew. No,
I didn't know.
You just power shield once every 12 seconds.
Was actually in Cataclysm. I didn't know. I was just doing what I thought I should do, but I was basically DPSing to heal the tank and then shielding people, and then every once in a while a renew. Like, and I was killing it. But
I'm wondering too if I ever get to play Holy as well.
Holy's such a bitch though. With the like, that's why.
Holy.
I didn't do Holy because of
like
the chakras. Is it chakras? Is that what they're called?
On some of the fights in early TL11 and 12 on some of them, I believe.
I just did like
Holy is one of those where it's a lot of effort for not enough reward. But like Holy is amazing. Like I've healed I've healed all of tier 11 and 12. I've not done any Dragon Soul as Holy, but I mean it's good and it works, but it is a lot more effort than being Disc.
Yeah.
So it depends what you want. You know, do you want more buttons to press, or do you want to do loads of healing with minimal effort and actually feel like you're contributing to the raid's damage?
Yeah.
It just felt like it was like it felt like stance dancing for priest. Like warrior stance dancing for priest or whatever. That's what
I didn't play in Kata hardly at all, so I have no idea. But you're saying that Disc Priest turns into more, is it kind of like what Druid is in SOD right now? Like you're
I'd say it's closer to what Arcane Mage is in SOD.
Okay.
You are you played Holy before you quit, but you were so into your master's program and everything, like you didn't even realize you were supposed to use chakras until like the 3rd raid we did, the 3rd raid lockout. Like you weren't even informed. And that's when you were like, Bobby, I just have to quit. Like I am dragging everybody down.
I was like, I can't do this.
I have no time to research anything. And that's when I took over your character because we're married. It's allowed, TOS. What's mine is hers, and what's hers is mine. Just let you know legally. But yeah, so I took over your account.
Got the priest and the divorce on WoW.
2-bedroom mortgages due priest. But yeah, I turned it into a male goblin and then just absolutely obliterated PvP. Like I was unkillable. Oh, in Gildaeus. It was amazing.
On how this was a very trying time in our relationship, because I'm going through grad school and Bob's like, dude, I am such a better healer than you were. And I'm like, what? And he's like, no, we went from her
doing half of the healing as the other healer to me coming in and doing 3 times the healing as the other one. But it was because I was a correct spec, researched the spec, and that's why I destroyed her. She didn't have time.
Now, at that point in time, he did not have those caveats in there, and I was like, "Fine, you do you have fun." And
you had already quit.
Yeah, I know. And then I quit, and then you were like very much on the bandwagon of I'm so much better than you at healing. And it even came in when we started playing Classic. He was like, "Well, Mel, when I was a really, really good healer, remember? This is what I would do." And I was like, you need to stop this because you were not that much better than me. You couldn't have jumped into Wrath and been good healer.
No,
like,
definitely
get
not.
Out of here.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. Yeah.
I just had to throw that in there.
You know it. You know there were caveats were in there, though. You're just trying to make fun for the podcast, which is worthwhile.
I wonder, right, by the end of Cata, because I mean, like, legendaries are nice and stuff, they're very exciting, but it's like I get one, the other classes don't get one, and I'm just, if when I get my orange item, I perform better. Were they right to like make everyone get a legendary in Mop and Beyond?
Oh, that's the thing in every. Oh, that's Mop and Beyond. That's everything.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, Mop, the cape in Mop. I kind of say yes.
And then bring in WoD, and then Legion they went crazy.
Yeah, Legion they went crazy, but I liked the Mop quest line. It sucked until they made like good catch up mechanics for ults to be able to get it quicker. But yeah, so like the biggest problem, I love the fact that everyone got a cape, and like the cape was insane and it synergized really well as a group. Well, oh no, sorry, the ring synergized really well as a group, didn't it? The ring had the use effect in WoD. The cape just done a shitloads more damage. Yeah, the Power Ranger thing, exactly.
That's the one.
But I liked it. You know, that it's like, right, you know, you've got a long old, like nearly, you know, half or 3/4 of an expansion's worth of like progress to put in to actually get your legendary. But then it sucked for ults, you know, because if you went in a raid and everyone's got their legendary cape and you've just re-rolled, you literally your damage was insignificant. You know, it did not matter at all. That's the only thing I didn't like. Yeah, so
they almost make them like not as coveted too, right? It's like when there's like a really specific legendary that everybody's battling for, that it's like if you have it, you have that. And then if you don't have it, it's like, oh, okay, you know, like whatever, you're still gonna do great. If they give it to everybody, if they give one to everybody, then it's like you just have to have it. It's on your BIS list. It's just another
what's special about it at that point.
Epic, right?
Yeah. Well, it's like now, like in Wrath, if you know you see a holy paladin without Valinir, it's like, oh god, I ain't got Valinir.
Don't take them.
I'm not being a dick, but it's true, isn't it? You're like, Jesus, like you're a paladin without Valinir. Yeah, exactly.
And when you see a disc priest with Valinir, you're like, oh,
yeah, you're like, you didn't miss Ulduar. You were there for far too long.
So true.
Something like a staff is just so many people can use a staff. Like between the staff and the daggers, who doesn't have a legendary? It's kind of just melee for once.
Yeah, the daggers kind. The thing with the daggers that sucked. Oh, no, not sucked, but you know, in Firelands, you've got a staff that you've got shamans, priests, boomies, mages, warlocks. Like all of us are going to want it, and then you go into Dragonstone, and it's like, well done, rogues. There you go. Like it would have been nice for him to maybe have been swords, so it would open up the option for a warrior to potentially go single-minded fury. You know, the rogue could use them, or maybe axes. So then, like enhancement shaman even as well.
Question.
You know, like that was weird that it was a single class after you had multiple classes on the first one.
I feel like so. I was a rogue. I was in a top guild. Quit middle of. I was in the top guild after Mel quit, and I just took over her healer for our 10-man friend group, and then I went and joined a top guild as the rogue. But I feel like I was combat with like swords or maces or axes or something. Like I feel like I was combat, but I was like one of the top 5 DPS in the 25-man raid every time. But I feel like I wasn't assassination. So did they like do it to push assassination as a spec, or was there combat daggers or
daggers, isn't it? And once you get legendary daggers.
Oh, sub assassination, and you would use them as combat as well because they increase sinister strike damage by 45%. Well, and revealing strike.
Okay.
But in if you was to go back on the way back machine and look at elitist jerks, there's a lot of discussion that the main, like you'd use the offhand legendary, but the main hand actually wasn't BIS at the end of the expansion. For combat, it would be second BIS, the main hand. But I personally don't remember that. It was like every rogue that I played with, whether there was combat, assassination, or sub, which normally they was combat.
I just remember combat, yeah.
Yeah, well, they were combat, and then they was sub on spine. That was it, and that's all I've seen on Whitemane. Is like combat and sub on spine, and they're using the daggers. I never see them using anything other than the main hand dagger. But again, you know, I do a lot of reading from, you know, like originally to see what was people actually doing then, because we're only gonna reinvent the wheel. You know, we're gonna go full circle and do the same thing again. To a certain extent, I know some things will change with modern theory crafting, modern sims and stuff, but you know, if the main hand was found on Elitist Jerks to not be BIS then, it could be found to not be BIS again now as combat.
Do you think it'll be that much different? Like Classic compared to Vanilla was really different. I mean, all the rogues were all backstab rogues. Like in top guilds, there wasn't combat rogues. Like in top, like, okay, I should say until like AQ, people started to figure shit out. Like that's when warriors started to pop in. Like, but MC and BWL, like everybody was daggers. Shit, half of the people in top guilds were like a mix between PvP and PvE spec. Like, but I think the game had changed enough in Cata to where there's not going to be that much different from what we did in original Cata, right?
Yeah, and when you're doing such big numbers, 100 DPS, like when you sim and it's 100 DPS, that's nothing. You know, so like a real prime example, which if Table's watching or any other ferals, Rancir of Hatred versus Fandrel's Flame Scythe. Now, when you get 4-piece tier 12 as a feral druid, haste actually, you can have a haste build that can outperform a heavy mastery build, in which case your fire kitty staff is actually about 80 DPS less than a non-fire kitty staff. So if anyone don't know what I'm talking about, you get a staff which makes your cat form like fire. You're on fire. It looks insane. I'm sorry, you can fuck your 80 DPS. I'm keeping the fire kitty staff. It's 80 DPS and I'm going to be doing about 25k. You know, it is so irrelevant that I would rather actually my model looked better for the sake of the 80 DPS. And I would say the same is probably true for rogues. It's like, yeah, okay, you might get, if you got 100 DPS from not using the main hand dagger, having the proc, you know, which is just going to feel better to play with. Well, it's what I would do. If I had a rogue in Cata, I want the legendary daggers, no matter what spec I'm playing. And I wouldn't I wouldn't break that set until MOP.
Okay. What's some other things?
Is there a set bonus?
Sometimes not very exciting.
Is there a set bonus?
Oh, yeah, the set bonus for the daggers.
Yeah, there is. I don't see it on the tooltip you have here.
Yeah, you get, so when you get over, every time you hit, you get a stack in agility buff. And then when you go over 30 stacks, you start to get a chance. And the higher past 30 you get, which I think it caps at 50. So between 30 and 50, as you're stacking the agility, you got a chance at proccing Fury, which then for 6 seconds, you can do 5 combo point finishers back to back.
Yeah.
Every combo point, every finisher
somebody
gives you 5 combo
me
points.
Like last year, somebody sent it to me.
It's insane. It's insane. You got 6 seconds to spam and eviscerate.
Yeah, that's incredible. So good.
Yeah, it's really cool.
There's one more thing I was going to ask about legendaries, actually.
Go.
So a lot of people go on about liking PvP a lot in Cata, but you can still use legendaries in Arena, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Should that still be a thing? I remember making a video at the start of TBC where I said I don't think the legendaries belong in Arena. I still agree. Until MOP, when everyone can get them.
They're a big deal.
No, I agree. I don't think you shouldn't be able to use Shadowmourne in Arena.
Like, the difference between Shadowmourne and no Shadowmourne is dumb. And I know like Arena people have to grind PvE, and that's no exception in Cata either, as I hear. So there's a lot of insane items, but the difference between a mage shattering you between like having the staff and not having the staff.
Yeah.
It could be a lot of damage. They could literally win because they have an orange weapon and another guy doesn't.
Yeah, and forget Arena.
BS, right?
Think about think about RBGs. You come up against an RBG team where they're a PvE guild and they've got 5 Ellie Shamans with Tarragossa's Rest. And it's like, oh, well, you know, they all press Lava Burst on the same person, that person dies. You know, there's no counterplay. No, I agree. I think from TBC onwards, legendaries shouldn't, or if they worked, like you could use them, but the procs, you know, the use effect type things, they are disabled in Arena. So like I could use Shadowmourne, but all I'm benefiting from is the fact that my weapon does more damage. I wouldn't get the stacking buff. I wouldn't get the proc at the end. Like, you know, that maybe that is a way.
Dude, I've been saying it forever. I don't even think in BGs you should be allowed to use things like lips or faps or like.
I think in BGs,
I don't. Yeah, I think they should give you the potions, the healing and mana potions. That should be it. But that's just how I feel about that.
You should, but not RBGs. You know, so like when we get rated battlegrounds, I think rated battlegrounds should be treated as arena, and they should be a bit more strict on what you can and can't use. But yeah, I know. I think battlegrounds, that's the place like where you can just go in and just.
I don't think so.
Yeah, like shit on people for fun. But yeah, that's just again, yeah, it's just my opinion.
Yep, mine.
I mean,
mine
yeah,
it makes it so now you have to have
just for a dunking on people kind of thing. Whereas arena is meant to be competitive, and it could be like, imagine CS:GO. It's like I have a better weapon than you. By default,
you're dead.
You need to go and grind something for a few hundred hours with 24 other people if you want a better weapon. And it's like, okay.
I think that's the hardest thing about being into PvE and PvP both, right? Is that you really you have to have a ton of time to dedicate to mastering both, or you have to pick one, right? And then when you pick one, and then you have to go do the other to get what you need to be better in the one, that feels bad, right? So they either need to make it where you can get it in multiple different ways. Like maybe you really love PvP, but you spend a lot of time doing PvE and you get it. That's fine, but you should be able to get it in some way just doing PvP as well, right?
Yeah, I mean, I like PvP gear should come from PvP. I don't like the crossover. I know PvPers have been having to grind PvE forever and ever in this game, and PvEers rarely have to do PvP, but still, I wish it wasn't the case.
Do you think that
come from the activity?
Their intention with doing that is to get people involved in both aspects of the game, right? Do you think
that was back in the day?
Or do you think it was just an oversight of like, we didn't really balance these PvE things for PvP, or we didn't balance these PvP things for PvE, and then somebody figured it out and they were like, oh crap. Oh,
I mean, it's kind of an oversight in vanilla, and they tried to fix in TBC. They're like, resilience, and tanks in PvE were like, oh, great resilience. I have less crit chance. Oh, perfect. So like, hold on, wait.
I hate resilience.
They've kept
so
iterating upon it, but it's difficult. They even tried templates in Legion, and people hated templates.
What are templates?
You have like set gear, I think.
Oh, interesting.
I think they tried that in Legion. I didn't really PvP anymore by that point in time.
That sounds great to me.
Yeah,
like just
I don't know why people didn't like it, but yeah, I didn't really PvP anymore. But by that point, but they kept trying different stuff. But
yeah, PvP.
At the end of the day, there's two very different areas of content.
What's crazy is you and I were the same, WillE. We came from two different games. You know, you came from RuneScape. I came from Ultima Online. Both were super heavy PvP games. And then I got to WoW, and I was like, "What the fuck? What do you mean I have to group up with 40 people to be able to PvP? What the fuck is it? This is bullshit." But I did it, you know, because I wanted to PvP so bad.
Yeah, all I did was I stopped PvPing properly in Cata because I got in a heroic 10-man raiding guild, and I was like, "Wow, this is good." Also, my ping was terrible, and I could somehow it just annoyed the hell out of me having to chase people around pillars and stuff. Was I could do enough to feel good about myself in raids apparently.
Yeah, but okay, so off of the legendaries, but let's talk about what should we talk about? Like what will get people excited? I don't want to. If we talk about talents, people might get butthurt about that again. Like let's talk about the fun stuff. PvP is fun, right? Let's talk about rated BGs. You brought that up. That's a whole new thing.
Fun. What are you talking about, though?
Yeah,
like the talents. I don't care what
for
anyone
classic
says. I'll
Andes,
argue.
It is a rough time for them.
No, but it's the same. It's the same size tree, but they're just better. The talents.
The one thing that I've noticed from
it's just you have to go all the way down.
Right now is that you don't have to go. You need 31 points, and you don't have to go all the way down. You just need 31 points. But a majority of classes take that 31 point. That last town anyway, right? But a lot of the complaints that I've not even complaints, but a lot of things I've noticed from when I was streaming it is people will see me leveling and putting in talents, and they go, "Oh, I thought this is when the talents changed to the you pick a 3.
They thought it was the mop.
Yes.
Yeah,
Bro,
those talents look
an
horrible.
Overwhelming majority of people who think they know about kata talents think it's the mop talents. Maybe I would probably say over 100 people have been like, oh, I thought it was, oh, it's not this, it's still the same. I'm like, yeah, you choose a specialization. Each specialization you have gets a spell and some passives. Like for a Warlock's example, if you're Demonology, you baseline get Felguard at level 10, and then you have a passive that gives you, 50% or whatever, 10% Fire Shadow, or 15, I mean. Or if you're Affliction, you get a dot, you have Unstable Affliction. If you're Destro, you get Conflag. When you're a Shaman, you baseline get Lava Lashes. You get stuff that is really suitable for your spec, and then you have to put 31 points into that tree before you can dip into another tree. So yes, the complaint where it gets rid of hybrids is a valid one. I get it, but it's not that big of a deal because in meta for almost every spec is you want that bottom talent. They might not be amazing for everybody, right? But they're like example, Chaos Bolts at 30 is the last talent in Destro. It's ass. It barely does more damage than Incinerate. You're haste casted most of the time you try to do it. Like it's just a bad talent, but you don't go Destro. You're trolling if you go Destro as a Warlock anyway. And other than that, almost everybody uses that last point to go down there. So you're going to need to do it anyway.
So here, hold on. Mel.
Let me clarify. No, babe, let me clarify this. In Kata, I just want to know, because I'm not familiar with it. In Kata, if I put 1 point in a tree, I have to go all the way down to 31 points before I can put a point in another tree?
You can.
You have to put 31 total points.
31 points in the discipline tree before you put anything into Shadow or Holy.
And
that's all I wanted to clarify.
All you have left over, I should have been able to go when I said it, but okay. So you only have 10 points after that 31 points. So you can only put 10 points in another tree. But Fail O Fishy in chat brings up the biggest point, though, is that he says, like, what if they take that limitation out? And we've talked about this numerous times with ScotteJaye and WillE on the show. I don't think we've talked about it with you, Crix, but the problem is they redid the talent trees to where all the talents are amazing early on. So if you allow that, you would have some crazy weird specs with way too much power. If you were to do that, they'd have to be reworked for that to work, right? Am I correct?
I don't think they would do that.
If Blizzard put the time in to balance it, I'd have no problem. But I've got to be honest, I don't trust the amount of effort they're going to put into Kata to let them do that. Same. You know what I mean? I'd rather they just left it alone. It works. It works as it is, so leave it alone. But if they was like, no, look, we'll be doing class tuning every few weeks, making sure that everything's good. We might change some of the talents about. Do it like if they was going to commit themselves to do that, it would be fucking fantastic. Yeah, like, it would be great.
So would it change so much at the end game though? Right? Aren't the end talents in each tree so impactful that you wouldn't, like at level 85, want to be spread across so many trees?
For some classes, like LE classes, there's some classes that you don't care about the last one.
Yeah, Crix just pointed out Destro tree on Warlock would be worthless.
Or
Ellie's Earthquake. Ellie's an AoE. Like that's going to do nothing for you single target. So there's like a good PvE Ellie Shaman won't take it anyway. Like
so
they'll put 31 points and ignore that.
So what would it hurt if we just took away that restriction?
Oh, because there would be the balancing. Yeah, exactly. There would be mental specs.
We don't know what would happen, and it might be.
It'd be kind of fun, though.
End up being terrible. And there's some things that are just like hilariously overpowered, and they don't balance it. Basically,
man, that's one thing they should try in the beta. I would play the beta if I could play around with that.
Remove the restrictions.
That's like a sod play.
Yeah, and then don't bring it in regular.
60 content. They're like, here, take these Kata trees, no restrictions. Let me see what you guys got.
That'd be crazy.
It's like a testing zone.
Yeah, it'd just be a fun thing to try.
When you're leveling, you don't get talent points every level. You get talent points every 2 levels until you're 80, and then it's every level. That's kind of annoying when you're leveling.
Crazy things, right?
You're just leveling, and you're like, I ding. You're like, oh shit, I don't get this.
Ah, man,
I don't get another talent point until 1 more level. It's kind of stupid, but whatever.
It's like, no,
that's fine. I usually go ding.
Yeah,
I usually go ding, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I've got 3 talent points. Damn it.
but the talents do feel really rewarding. So it's every other level, but then 1 point you feel it. Like it is.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, I just got 1% crit. It's like shit. Like I've just got 5% extra healing with this, or 5% extra damage with that, or I've got a completely new ability. Like leveling my Rep Paladin, which is the one I was leveling last. Like there was points where I was sat looking, thinking, "What one am I going to take? Like I want all of them. Like, I want to put this point everywhere, but I've only got one.
You're
What's
trying
really
to prioritize which one you want the most?
Well, and Crix,
yeah,
Crix makes a really good point about the talents and mop and everything. Even I didn't mind the talents, like properly remembering back when we had the other episode. Like I didn't mind the talents. It was when I came back for the level 90 boost, the recruit a friend level 90 boost you get from someone recruits you in MOP.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I logged in as the priest, boosted to 90, and then pulled up the talents. And I was like, what the hell is this? This looks like the talents from fucking, not Halo. What was that Xbox title where you could jump way freaking high? It was actually really cool. The first one, no, it's before that. You would
That's more recent, I guess.
Yeah, you would. Oh my God, chat, can you help me? What's his name? Oh my God, voiced it. The Camacha from Idiocracy. The freaking. Oh my God! Sorry, guys.
Can we all go for a walk and give you a minute?
Okay, it was in the future. You drive cars. You would power up. You got to the point to where you could scale like almost buildings with your jump. Like it was a huge freaking game for a while. I don't know.
You drive cars.
You could drive cars. You would like level up. I don't know. Well. Somebody, yeah, Terry Crews. Terry Crews voiced the character. Crackdown. Thank you. You get a sub. Crackdown. So the talents reminded me of freaking Crackdown, and I was like, nope, I'm out. Sorry, I took us way too long for that. I will let you guys talk again.
Yeah, the mob talents really are ass, but we can save that for what, I don't know, a year and a half when we have to go do this again for mob.
Yeah,
it's yeah, I agree. But a lot of people, I'm not kidding, a lot of people were like, damn, I really thought that they thought the mob talents were coming in now. And like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. I'm like, yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. People just shut out Cata. I don't know what it is. My speculation is when Cata actually came out at the end of Lich King, world changed. They changed. They had jobs. They graduated college. They had kids. They got married. So they just couldn't play games that much. And so they quit the game. A lot of people quit the game when Cata came out, and then they just kept that hatred for the game for so long, you know?
Yeah.
Listen, that's been my argument since day one is like the people playing WoW entered a different level of their life when Cata came out, and they didn't enjoy Cata as much because they didn't have the time that they had for vanilla TBC and Wrath, right? And then they blame it on that. What?
That's a huge thing that you said years ago that I've heard parroted by a bunch of different content creators lately. It's
it's just like
a huge thought.
People just entered a different level of their life and they didn't have the time to spend on it. And then they blame it on the Cata expansion. When in reality, I don't think it was the Cata expansion. I think it was whatever was going on in their life at that moment. And
they just tied it in
because we all started playing it at some point, right? And then it got to be the doomer complex of like, well, you see where this started. It all started in Cata. Because then when they did have more time after different things happened in their life, they came back and it was like this whole different game that was like, nope, never mind. I'm not going to do that, right? And it was like, well, that started in Cata, obviously, because that's when I stopped playing. And I just think I am very much of the mindset of like, give it a chance. And for me, every version of this game is so much more fun when I have friends and people to play it with, right? And so the reason that Bob and I are still having fun in SOD is because we have friends that are still playing. And
probably why I'm
the most fun we've ever had. Literally the most fun we've ever had in Classic. And not to say our guild wasn't good before. Our guild was great. But they raid logged all the time. Like, we actually just get on and just hang out and help each other all night. Like, most nights, it's fucking awesome. Like, and I go do stupid piddly shit, like helping the 7th character get fucking their Dark Watcher rune. Yeah, Dark Rider runes. Like, I don't care. We're just having a good time hanging out. And PvP server that's balanced. We get the added credit of getting to fucking world PvP the whole time. We're just having like the best life we've had.
Yeah.
So
that is one
so I'm only here
benefit.
for like another 5 minutes. Sorry, Mel. I just want to get one point out to make sure I get it out before I do go in 5 minutes. Obviously, like most of you, well, all of you here know, like I've got every single 85, all fully raid geared on Whitemane. You know, I've literally spent all of last year leveling every single character, gearing every single character, raiding on all of them, and even after doing that, I'm not playing any of them. And I'm on the beta all the time because on there where it's got like such accelerated XP, like you go in a dungeon and you come out and you've got 6 or 7 levels, and then you do the next dungeon, you do the same. So you don't actually see any of the content. All you see is the end game content, which, don't get me wrong, we all like the end game content. That's great. Back in original Cata, I would have had all the characters at 80 already. So I would have done 80 to 85. So it has felt so good doing like the old zones and actually experiencing, like, even I'm
excited about it
in a different way. Yeah, but like me, I wouldn't have thought that I would stand here and say like I didn't expect to enjoy the beta as much as I am. Like,
Isn't that cool,
and that
though?
goes for all the guys in the guild as well. Like, because they're just enjoying all the questing and everything, and it's like people just need to just give it a chance. Like, just start a character. If you get to level 20 and you don't enjoy it, then go back to whatever you was playing. But I would challenge anyone.
That's a rule
to just give it a shot.
That's a rule for life. Like, I mean, honestly, like, just give it a try. Like,
when I heard that you had to level 1 to 60, I was driving home and someone messaged me like, "Oh, Cat is up." I was like, "Oh shit, okay." It copies. He's like, "Nope, you got to level." I'm like, "Oh damn!" And I was like pissed off about it. And then I did it anyway. Right? Took me maybe an hour before I was like, "All right, well, I'm not getting off my computer for a couple days." And now I'm just chain running, like just like Scotty said, same shit. And I raided with Scotty. Scotty taught me everything about private servers a couple years ago with Cat at least, and I'm doing the same thing. It's just like I chain level to 60, start a new character, and it's just a lot. It was way more fun than I thought. And I hope people give it a chance. And, you know, I think people will. I think more because I can't even tell you how many people have been in and I'm a small streamer. I can't even tell you how many people have been in my chat alone who've been like, "Man, I wasn't going to try this, but actually watching you play it, I'm going to give it a shot. And I'm like, that's all it takes. You'll know if you like it. I know you'll like the rating. Everyone's going to like the rating, but it's just getting to the rating part. I think people will enjoy more than they think they will.
Yeah.
Rating's a lot harder though, right? A lot of mechanics.
But you can 10-man.
But that's even harder, isn't it? Isn't 10-man even harder?
It's like the problem that people have with rating is that it's hard raids with 25 mans with finding people to do it and stuff like that. And now you can, you know.
Oh, because there's
in Cata, is it 10 and 25 man?
Yeah, shared lockout.
Shared lockout.
The only difference is
you can do one or the other.
You can't do like the same raid
like
on 10
ICC.
and 25. Okay, thank God.
Yeah, it's just one. If you can do one or the other, and it's the same loot, except for I think 25 mans just drops more loot. I think that's the only difference. And 10's harder, right?
You can kind of mix it up if you're only doing normal. You know, so you could go in and let's say in 25-man normal you got to Cho'Gall, and you couldn't kill him, and then for some reason your next raid night you didn't have enough people. You could split into 2 10-mans and go and kill him in 2 10-man groups. But if you do a single heroic boss, you're locked to that ID. So it's kind of a flexible system for normal, so which I think's fucking great for more social casual guilds that they can go, "Oh shit, tonight we've actually got 25 people. Let's go and do some 25-man," and then they struggle, and it's like, "Oh, next night let's split into 2 10s." I think that's really good. Whereas heroic, you're then locked in if you do 10 or you do 25. I actually am looking forward to the raid system in Cata, and I was actually quite negative about it to begin with. You know, I was someone who was like, "No, I want them separate." I want to do, even the dog agrees. Like, I want to do 10. I want to do 10 and 25 every week. But actually, the more I think about it, it makes you want to have more characters. You know, because it'd be like, well, I'll do 25 on this character. I'll do 10-man on this character. You know, so I'm already planning to have like, you know, at least 3 bare minimum, like 85s in the first couple of weeks. You know, so I can do both raid sizes in varying skill groups. You know what I mean? Like a really hard pushing for like, you know, clear like a first week clear on heroic in one group, but then more, you know, streaming and getting all the boys in and having a few beers and take it easy. You know, I think there's a lot of options with Cata.
there's all kinds of stuff too. Like we didn't even hit on like oh god,
Does LFR
reforging, yeah, looking for raid. Like there's so much more to talk about.
R2 Inc.
But we do have to close up, guys. Is there any like final thoughts or anything before we close this out? Like there's so much we didn't talk about. If you guys want, ScotteJaye is going to do another 7-hour podcast right after this. So
7 hours.
They're going to hit on everything.
7-hour podcast.
I'm surprised he hasn't tried to get WillE back in there.
True. No, don't worry. WillE's got an invite pending. And I know exactly for what one now. So
okay.
I've
got to do more reading now.
Well, no, because for Warlock, I'm not even joking. I was like, I'll get Crix and WillE on for Warlock, but now I can get Crix on for Warlock, get you on for Priest, and it's more of a like the Druid podcast we're about to do is going to be more of a learning experience. It's not like guys come and listen to us. We know everything. It's like no, let's look at everything, and see if there's anything we missed. What can we learn together?
Know everything.
I like the long class breakdowns like that. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, we're going to dive in, but it is only going to be 2 hours.
Changes and stuff,
it genuinely is only going to be 2 hours. I've got a raid. I've got a raid after 2 hours, so I mean, I might be raiding and doing the podcast.
Yeah.
We'll see. I can do two things at once.
All right. Well, let's just go ahead and start closing out here. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter at WC Reloaded. You can follow the Masters Buttons Network at the MASH Network. If you'd like to send us an email, it's WCRpodcast@gmail.com. If you'd like to join the Discord, it's WarcraftReloaded.com/Discord. /RestedXP is for Rested XP. Just go to WarcraftReloaded.com. It's got all of our stuff. Help us out by checking out the Patreon, also on WarcraftReloaded.com. Give us rating and reviews on iTunes and Spotify. Give us comments and subs on YouTube. And that's how you help us out. Scotty, where can we find you?
ScotteJaye, on YouTube. If you really want to watch me stream, which you don't, trust me. But if you do, I'm on Kick.
But you're going to have a podcast.
On Kick as well.
Yeah, the podcast right after.
Podcast is on YouTube and Kick. Yeah, so kick.com/ScotteJaye or YouTube at ScotteJaye.
Mel, where can we find you?
You can't find me anywhere. You can find me on the podcast or in SOD on Melarina.
Bob Stream,
yeah.
WillE, where can we find you?
YouTube, WillE, that's pretty much it. I do streams occasionally, but I stream on there and on Twitch as well, but they're pretty infrequent at the moment.
Okay.
It was frequent, though, at a time. I was literally... I had you on, like the second monitor, like you were streaming a good 3 times a week at least, and then stopped. I mean, I was really angry.
He's like
the perfect Tuesday and Friday, but I was like, I was doing stuff in SOD, and I was like, damn, I kind of running out of stuff to do. And then I was going to do the Cata Beta the other day, but I was like, damn, I need to get on with these class videos. So that's what I've been doing. But yeah, I'll be doing more for sure.
Nice,
well, if you're on I don't know what server you're on, PvE or PvP for the beta, but if you're on PvE, whisper me, William. We can do some shit when you're either 80 or there's character copies, whatever, which comes first.
Yeah.
Well, Crix says...
Yeah, I'll try and look you up there. I am on that one.
Yeah, Crix says everybody's on PvE. I watched his video on that. But Crix, where can we find you?
Crix Vibes everywhere.
Crix
Every
Vibes.
single social media in the world. Yep, I stream pretty much every day.
With a Z instead of an S.
I'm not doing anything but Cata Beta stuff pretty much. So I rate SOD stuff, but I can't stream speedruns and stuff. So it's I'm just streaming Cata stuff.
Awesome.
So we get 80, 85, and then we'll jump in with the boys, do dungeons like Scotty said, and then just explore the world together,
Yeah.
Playing all the class. We're all doing the same thing,
Yeah, I'd like to jump on beta.
We'll have the guy
raid
out, but I don't do like all class guys. I just kind of like hyper focus on like in-depth stuff for certain classes I play, I'm not as talented as WillE and Scotty with going in all the classes.
You stream all the time though, so
yeah.
It's hard to do both. I'll tell you.
I like the more min-maxy guides. I feel like I do a little. That's like my specialty. Is like, let me tell you how to sweat out of your every pore type shit.
All right, you can find me on Twitter at Blazin_Bob. BLAZZIN_BOB. You can find me on Twitch at BlazzinBob _. And yeah, that's gonna do it. We're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys for hanging out, and we'll see y'all next week.
Bye.
Peace.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you very much for checking out Warcraft Reloaded Podcast. Make sure to like and subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss any future content.